All right. We are back. We are back. Back to bang. Uh-oh. My illusion. Is that better? No, that's worse. I had to move apartments, guys, so we're still getting set up over here in the new place. But it's our glorious return to League of Legends VOD reviews. Thank you, Oblivious, for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you. I have my new Elgato prompter. Allows me to read the chat significantly easier. Figure we'd start with some G2 games as they're hot off their very good MSI performance.
Nah, when you used to have like a gajillion range rocket that could half health enemy squishies, it was a little easier probably, but 80 carry bans, the story thus far, the Callista, the Draven, comfort for the side of...
You guys are very quiet today. Obviously not very excited about LEC. Who could blame you?
G2. So the more things change, the more they stay the
I've
same.
heard
Skarner,
these games are terrible. Oh, right. Skarner is super broken. So we just take that out immediately.
Unpicked in pro play because he is permanently banned. So
He is very good.
And we're back to the Hansama bans of Callista and Draven.
Like it's top lane, you can play him jungle.
Even with all the itemization changes.
So much that he can work with. And even if
And Yasuo. Okay, so flex pick for... I obviously want to pick, so this probably means, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of games on this patch yet because I've been busy, but, you know, this is a flex. Obviously, both Caps and Broken Blade play it, but particularly it probably means they want to take TF, which is still strong in the top lane.
in LEC, setting up here with these three particular bans. Is there something in the bottom?
Planer, and obviously BB has been the main proponents in playing.
And there it is, just a first pick TF, and that's why we banned the Yasuo.
The mid lane of the LPL, I think we've seen it maybe once, but I imagine that is going to be top lane from Mirren, trying to succeed in getting him a strong matchup. But you could just go.
I'm turning on a fan in here, so you guys let me know if that creates any or too much noise.
Is it just going to be Hansama going back towards the Varus?
And what is the Varus build going to be? Lethality again still remains pretty
At least
popular.
in a solo queue history, it has been on hit for Hansama. But the lethality kind of more I've seen on the Eastern AD carries and a lot more on hit on Western AD.
Alright, so we're going to the Varus right away. Camille has a very strong win rate on 14-11, at least in high elo Korean play so far.
The item, the Blood Song got nerfed, and also Hail of Blades got nerfed. So it kind of hurts a little bit, but definitely still can. Well, actually, no, I'm kind of taking it not into Nautilus Senate. That's going to be a miserable time.
Well, we better hope
But
it's a flex
you
then.
know it's into TF from that top side, and Camille is incredibly strong at the moment. The fact that you are just so capable of taking over in that top side of the map is just absurd. So I'm looking forward to seeing either go for lethality.
It's going to be taken
Alright, Sejuani, very strong synergy with the Camille.
More supportive picks in, or even Supa in that bottom side to be those carries.
Take away Ivern
I wouldn't be
and the
surprised if
Lilia
they take it back
for
to
El Yoya.
But
They assume that there has to be some sort of AP jungler with what's going on right now.
at
The
least
top side
actually
AD.
super well with the Camille.
Tarek, alright.
Makes it very hard, against a team that doesn't have a ton of burst damage for them really to ever find a favorable fight.
Allows you to really dive in very deep with the Camille and Sejuani here with the Tarek.
Match up into the Nautilus, because it's like as Nautilus hooks in, you E back, and you're just like, hey, it doesn't really matter. You got the stun, you got decent heals, and the ult from Nautilus is very telegraphed. But
Zyra jungle, probably.
what is it? Is it Nautilus? Is it Nautilus?
Mid?
Thank you, extraterrestrial.
It has to be Senna, not right? Senna and
It doesn't matter. But
Zyra is
yes.
Villeneuve or James Cameron. Oh, I think Villeneuve. The thing is, I love early games, James Cameron, like, you know, The Abyss and Aliens, but James Cameron got pretty washed pretty fast because, like, Titanic and Avatar are just dog shit.
More magic damage. They've certainly found it in this draft. So we'll see kind of where the final assignments are for champions overall. I really liked the Tarek when there was only physical damage on the opposite side. But now I'm not so certain.
So I want to say a little.
Oh, they got surprised by the jungle Zyra. All right.
Zyra
Back to Monty time, indeed.
Yeah, there was
Villanova's very consistent. Yeah, I mean, Dune is still, like, all right, even though it's not. Can't wait for the foreplay PTA director arc. He's my favorite director, Phantom Thread. I still haven't seen Phantom Thread. That's the I hadn't seen Hard 8, and I still haven't seen Phantom Thread, so I'm excited to see that.
Okay, Hui going in mid, of course. G2, everything makes sense. Yeah,
Titanic is poggers. It is not. All right, so we have the Hui preferable matchup into the Azir. Thank you guys for watching the Culture channel, though. Our growth on that channel has been pretty crazy. So, glad you guys like the shows. Is this Worlds?
I'm excited to see what this one's going to do.
Yes.
I mean, G2 already looking for a bit of an invade, though. Just trying to see if they can get vision down and spot out where this plant is in the jungle.
I think they're just trying to deny the plants. It's like
My first message in your chat is going to be defending Avatar. How dare you come in here and defend Avatar? You disgust me.
Shaco boxes, but Elyoya can't really choose early on, at least, where to spawn them until he gets the W.
You disgust me.
So I assume that he'll walk into the jungle a little bit late here and try to get a couple plants down just to accelerate the jungle clear. But now, after the level 1 fizzles, it's a little bit quiet. And first strike for Hansama.
May I ask a spoiler-filled question about Arrival? Yes.
Will be the choice.
The movie's been out since 2016.
And Elyoya alongside Supa walking in.
Washed up! 222. Thank you for your subscription.
Yeah, I feel like G2 have adapted well to what they've seen coming through from MDK, because with the wake...
First strike galore now versus fleet footwork galore.
I feel like G2 have adapted well to what they've seen coming through from MDK, because with the way coming in that final position, you get a good matchup in towards the Azir in the mid lane. With Blackfire Torch being as strong as it is as well, Hui's been really good at abusing that. So I think you're in a position where you just outrange MDK, you get a ton of poke damage, some of that burn damage off Blackfire Torch, and even if it...
Yeah, I'm curious to see some of the new itemization here, guys, like Zach was talking about with the Blackfire Torch.
Good stun from Mickey, a couple extra empowered autos. No sustain yet coming up for the Tar because he has opted to start E. Will, of course, give an armor buff to Hans, too, which will make the all-ins that much easier.
For betting purposes, do you like Nongshim or Fearex? Like Nongshim, probably.
Like a Camille or a Zac. These champions with this huge range of threat because no matter how far you go, Hui can always follow up with that empowered Severing Bolt to really lock down and pick off a target.
I think it's funny that that Ahri skin costs as much as a PS5.
Notoriously, any AP jungler, if they get ahead in the jungle, just snowball.
I miss Xerath getting picked as a counter to Azir. Happened twice and people gave up. Yeah, but the Xerath is so vulnerable to like Xin Zhao, Lee Sin, backline dive junglers. Like, it's just garbage.
Mirroring can get that point and click CC as well as bottom side.
Backstep.
I do appreciate that Mickey is attempting to just sabotage a US solo queue. After MSI it was bring up Poppy, and now it's going to be Tarek suddenly shoots up in numbers.
All right. All I'm saying is somebody on one of these teams is sabotaging EU solo queue. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, because we're going to need to see if it's Elyoya or Mickey, depending on the results of this game.
Will I be doing any LPL bangers only? Yes. I haven't seen the Anyone's Legend games. I'll probably watch some of those tomorrow.
He doesn't have a dash. He's not scary. He's just
I'm not going to watch probably a lot of LPL in the first stage because it's just shit. But and we have LCK starting this week. But tomorrow, yes, I will. President Nathan, thank you for your subscription.
Nice early play from Elyoya.
That's a level 6 revisit if I've ever seen one. Freskewi goes in, gets the
flash because it's Tarek. He doesn't have a dash. He's not scary. He's just
I don't
annoying.
mind it because I'm the support usually, so I'm not going to go towards that. But if my jungler takes this,
Alright, flash root has to be flashed out. Casting Worlds 2024. Nope. Does Zyra do monster damage or something new? No, you've been able to jungle Zyra for a long time because she doesn't take any damage on the clear with her plants. I think it's really just because they wanted to get an AP jungler here with the comp that they have, right? And the fact that they have this TF in the top lane. You know, they do have the Azir as well, but they banned out. Perhaps it's a pick that they've been working on. Love your takes on the Saudi partnership. Yeah, man. Look, it's really simple, guys. Here's the thing about the Saudi stuff. The Saudis are taking over. So if you want to have a career in esports commentary, you are gonna have to like kiss the ring at some point in time. You know what I mean? And like the thing about it is, I don't care. Like the shitty thing that people did was that they used like women's and gay rights to score fake internet points without actually supporting those groups, right? Or even worse, they used it to attack other people. And so if you really believe in those things, there's no way you can work for the Saudis. And like, I don't care if you want the bag. If you're just like, I want the bag. That's fine. But you don't get to pretend to be a like women's or gay rights activist afterwards, right? If you want to engage in the sports washing, just do it and shut the fuck up. All right, let's take a look at this. Like, I understand, you know, a lot of people don't have the luxury of being able to say no in the long term for that. And you know what? Here's the thing. You can say no now, but everybody's going to have to say yes eventually, because whenever Riot gives over the League of Legends circuit to Saudi Arabia, you're going to have to work for them. And that'll happen at some point, guys. There have been so many Riot executives just like in Saudi Arabia over the last year. Like Mark Merrill's been chilling out there. Like their new CEO's been over there. And the question is, why? Why are they there? Well, maybe they're buying part or all of Riot. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it's been real suspicious, guys. So something bigger is happening.
Hits him with the Q, finishes the job.
And here comes Oyoya. Hans has no flash, and Oyoya's in behind. Hans wants to get the wave crash.
Just wants to get the wave, and he knows he's dead.
Would Tencent sell Riot? I mean, anything for the right price, right? Maybe they're just discussing how they take over the esports circuit. Tencent might sell half of Riot. I don't know.
About this MDK bottom lane, I feel like G2 plays so incredibly aggressive every time.
I don't know anything about SK's new bot. I didn't watch LCK Challengers.
To set a Nautilus 6 months ago, Rob, in winter, in our finals, and now it's happening again
beating
here.
Super is like beating Deft, so they just want to make sure that they're in a really good spot when it comes into, you know, looking at internationals, and then if you can beat Super, it basically means you're as good as Deft.
Yeah. I appreciate what you're doing. Look, I like the Super Talks track.
I like it as well. I like Super. I think he's a great addition. I think like he's an AD carry that has a very, very high ceiling, and I love the personalities.
I think he's trash. I think Zuba's trash.
A little bit of stick for it.
Yeah, you can bring it up. All right, so Hansama Mickey struggling to beat European Deft.
Imagine FPX getting involved in an argument between coach and player. I don't know enough about that one, man.
Walking over to try to attach a stun to the back of that Sejuani stun. Does manage to land. Elyoya slowly getting walked down, just trying. As Yike, knowing Elyoya.
And I can't give him a little bit of stick for it.
Yeah, you can bring it up. All right, so
Good ward here.
struggling to beat.
Checking to see if there's a ward in that brush. Sees it immediately. Q's in.
Should have an easy kill pick
The W off. There's the permafrost. Mickey's already on the roam. Nice stun, actually, from the Taric.
Slowly getting walked down, just trying to finish the camp. Good burst damage coming in from the W.
That's the problem. The Zyra's just highly vulnerable. I mean, they do have the tank, right? So they can go for the carry jungle. Oh my lord. He's just gonna suicide. Pretty cocky, though, when Mirwin is close to 6 to make this play. Because Mirwin actually does a good job here of hitting 6. So he hits 6 off of this wave right now. And then he immediately TPs in. So G2 taking a little bit of a risk there. Do you have a take on the harsher Valorant chat policies? Well, all I gotta say is if whatever the woman who is in charge of Valorant, Anna Donlon or whatever, if she is really against, you know, all of those horrible things that people say to women in chat, well then I hope she's really against when Valorant tournaments go to Saudi Arabia.
does a great job of actually being able to get back out underneath the tower to get at least the damage that he needs back onto Yike. And then Merwin with the reset.
So, you know what I mean? I hope she just keeps that energy.
He was pushed underneath that topside turret.
And so far,
I hope they're really actually super concerned with protecting women.
they had the one proactive play around mid where Elyoya managed to get Caps' summoners out. Otherwise, they've just been punishing G2's over-aggression, both in the bottom lane, now in the jungle as well. The question is, are it's MDK who are overextending now? Yike only level 5. Frescowie on the way in. They know they can just take down Mickey with the pushback if they so choose. Mickey getting lower and lower. Zyra ulti used off to the side of the fight. Elyoya now trying to retreat. Broken Blade, though, coming. Now Yike over Elyoya.
Chip 102! 6 more months. Welcome back. 94 months to 100.
Managed to get Caps' summoners.
Underneath that topside turret.
And so far, MDK have really just been punished.
The reset. Him just TP in and pick up the early kill. BB couldn't help out. He was pushed underneath, being able to the turret.
And so far,
All right, so we have an attempt here.
really just been punishing. They
Go ahead and try and take these grubs. So they're able to get one right off the bat. That's when the collapse comes in. Hui isn't there. So this is pretty risky because it starts as a 3v4. And Mickey X is there. They go ahead and smite one away, and they try and go on to Mickey. But they use the Azir ult immediately. Yike is just going to flash over. Nobody actually gets hit by the Zyra ultimate here. And Supa is just going to get ulted by the Camille in the back line. And they get enough time for Hui just to come over. Supa also uses Flash to get out of the Hui fear, but can't actually escape due to the Camille ult. Mirwin? What the fuck, man?
That's the combo we talked about. Frescowie now no ultimate. Spiraling despair, blinking health bars on the side of G2, and they're going to be forced to back away. Broken Blade getting...
Dude, he flashes for this. And then he just walks into the stun from everybody. Yike gonna go ahead and throw out his Glacial Prison. Elyoya now in trouble. Elyoya no ult. Oh, they can't get... Oh, they're gonna get the Permafrost. Okay. There it is. Supa's now back. He died and was able to come back by the time that fight ended.
A new challenger approaches, but unfortunately, there's no one left. G2 are able to pick up the fight after a...
Well, I'll be doing VODs of LPL. Yes. I want to do that Anyone's Legend VOD tomorrow. I always do LPL VODs, guys, even though nobody watches them. But this stage of LPL is not actually worth doing a lot of VODs of, because most of the games are going to be shit. But the NIPAL game I will watch tomorrow.
Hits no one because Yikes flashes over it. And Frescowie's invested so much on towards Mickey that you actually get G2 re-establishing themselves in the fight and getting good damage off. And Mirren, this is unfortunate. Mickey had already started the dazzle as you flash over the wall. BB gets a follow-up seed. Get G2 re-establishing themselves in the fight and getting good damage off. And Mirren, this is unfortunate.
It's actually such a nice play by Mickey to have already started channeling the stun, anticipating that he might flash over the wall.
Follow-up CC alongside Yike, and then just able to finish them off so nicely, including Elyoya with so many slows coming in to hurt him.
And this is the struggle, right? The Twisted Fate really just does not do much. Flashes in, fully commits to the play, but the Taric shield is there. A bit of extra healing is all it takes to turn that up against Mirwin. And only 150 gold lead as the TF in this lane against Camille doesn't feel great. You really want a bigger lead than that. Caps grabbing a kill too is going to make Frescowie's lane that much harder. And this is a Hui who, if you're not diving on top of him, is going to have easy target access this entire game.
And this is the thing, one of the big adaptations we've seen with Blackfire Torch coming in is that for every champion that you hit, you get the 4% increased ability power, right? But if you just throw down your QE, that nice little red carpet as Caps, you can hit 4 people with that, suddenly get a ton of extra ability power, and for the rest of the fight then you're going to go spot. But actually, he's not going to go for the Blackfire Torch, he's going to go for the Luden's Companion. So we'll still be able to deal a lot of damage from afar with those Severing bolts. I mean, kind of already talked about, that's where the big danger is for MDK. They don't just get to outrange G2 like they were hoping to with this composition.
Definitely don't. Yike, looks like early Warmong's Rush again. Just such a powerful item on the current patch. It's going to feel a bit frustrating when the Leandries comes through for Elyoya, but Sejuani actually receiving a lot of buffs in the off-season, as if, you know, she wasn't showing up for pro play enough. We need a little bit more. But the extra passive resistance is coming through. kind of a shift in terms of how the W works as well.
Russian Warmog's going to help out as well. Just a very strong item.
Yeah, flat HP items
Stronger as BB.
a lot stronger now with a bunch of the changes that were made. You know, a lot of the percent HP damage like Blade, Kraken, Cut Down. A lot of this is just a lot worse against high HP targets. They also lowered HP on some of the armor and MR items.
Kills. Mickey wasn't level 6, so didn't have that big safety net for that play for G2, and MDK realized it. Get the TP in from Alvaro to create the numbers advantage, and sure, Hans will be able to get some damage on the bottom side of the map, but Miran going to be able to cover the majority of that, and MDK coming out with a nice little lead off the back of that play.
And again, you can see when the front line's here, when they're favored, how annoying their composition is to play against. They just walk at you. The downside, when Zyra's here, no longer is it an option to just walk at them. The knockups, the plants attack.
Pretty disrespectful, honestly. Pretty disrespectful of the not TP.
Also just easier being in a position to get up here that little bit quicker with Alvaro having that teleport come through.
You know, G2, I think, being pretty disrespectful on some of these walk-ups, but whatever.
Very happy with that one. And now you're in a position where, again, you've opened up that top lane lead that little bit more with BB falling down. The jungle lead is pretty damn big, but it's G2, at least on the Void Scuttles for the moment, as you start to look towards Dragon instead, coming through for MDK in the bottom side.
Sorry, I'm just blown away. They were still... The TSM change.
Does the VOD quality look a bit off? Oh, yeah, you're right. There we go.
I can't wait for like 10 years down the line.
I'm not allowed to have the enhanced bitrate.
What are we talking about? And you're like...
Maybe I should get YouTube Premium for you guys.
Back to the odd one. Anyway, or just the chant, you know, like what more do you need? Oh yeah. 4-2-1. Zyra looking pretty good, especially against the tankier members. When Rylai's comes out, it's going to feel pretty impossible for Mickey especially to do much of anything in these fights. Hard to get into that front line or back line either. But a Dragon taken out here, still 4 grubs to the side of G2 at a 2K deficit, but to G2's credit, they lost a lot of early games to MDK over the course of the splits, but it's the mid game where they really came alive. Now overloading here as Yike fully commits. Tarkal now going in. Broken Blade not quite immune to damage, but will be enough as Elyoya's waiting, taking his time, debating if he wants to turn this. Stranglethorn's ready to go, gonna look to lock up Yike, forcing the flash out as Frescowi just tries to get away from the spiraling despair. Caps holding onto the Severing Bolt. Clean sidesteps and a quick ram is okay from Frescowi as he walks out of that one.
G2 just don't have the damage at the moment, though, to finish off MDK. You can see they can kite back, and even with BB being able to lock down Mirwin, there's just not enough in the tank to follow through. So G2 end up fully dissipating from that situation. And I think MDK going to be happy enough with how much was blown by like G2 on the bottom side. Yike having that flash invested as well.
Until the Herald spawns. 4 minutes for the Drake, so Herald we expect to be the next big focal point here as Elyo continues to clear out his topside jungle. Closer and closer to what I assume is just going to be a Rylai's. That has been the standard build.
Yeah, it's just very strong for any sort of like utility mage like this. We got to see it in Brand a lot, but just getting the clear out in the jungle and then setting up with these early plants up towards, as you say, Rift Herald, it's just super nice because if G2 try and move into the situation, kind of getting slows, you get more burns. It's just a nice little combo that you can have set up.
So is my
Appreciate the adaptation from Hansan.
Oh, okay, good. My camera's still in the right spot. I was worried.
The amount of disengage, the amount of range present on the side of the MDK lineup, the fact that he's 1.5 items in, if he's not landing these Qs, it's so hard for G2 to do anything. If Broken Blade and Yike are the sole frontliners going in without a Taric ultimate to kick things off, it's really just tough to find an angle to fight, right? Because Zyra disengaged, you've got Azir to push people back. Like, MDK have fantastic. If they're first on the objective, you're not walking in.
It's also the fact that you haven't actually had Soup and Alvaro in the lane against Hansan meant he hasn't got an awful lot of gold off this first strike either. So he's not exactly been blown out of the water with being able to poke Alvaro this whole time. So nicely done by MDK to kind of limit that. And now with Rift Herald in tow, they just immediately move in towards this mid lane. G2 going to roam Mickey up to make sure they can fight the 3v3.
Chaps trying to get a bit of damage down. Destiny's going to spot them out, however. MDK, do they want to go for the charge here? No, no one's going to mount up. Meanwhile, Mirwin in trouble. Of course, when the team is there, things are a little bit easier. TP now coming in from G2. Caps on the way to the bottom side. The ulti, the severing bolt. Mirwin should have no way out of this one. Sidestep on the grasp is good. Broken Blade, the hook shot, the flash back from Mirwin, but he's just delaying the inevitable. G2, good execution, and now it's Frescowi who's going to be in trouble. The pushback is good. The stun now interrupts the dash out to safety. Base damages. Will they be enough? Another stun.
Whoa.
Goes back, playing the inevitable.
Biggie took a lot of damage there. Had to flash out from the turret.
The pushback is good. The stun now interrupts the dash out to safety. Base damages. Will they be enough?
Whoa.
Goes back. W2 getting the kill. Frescowi taken down.
Nicely played by Mickey, getting those auto attacks to get another heal down just before he flashes away. And with the tower gone on bot side, G2 ahead of the tempo on both 2 kills, tower and the trade for MDK in the top lane. G2 still showing that they've got a bit of fight in them left.
Good picks. And frankly, anybody on the side of MDK cannot afford to be left.
G2 actually catching back up as a result of that play.
Got Caps who's a threat now as well. 1.6k gold lead over Frescowi in this mid lane. Gives him a lot of control if you end up setting up in sides, but even just hitting these earlier item spikes when he gets towards this horizon focus, he's going to be dealing so much damage with these severing bolts. And even with the Camille now pushing in the top side as well, the map just slowly starting to disintegrate for MDK and becomes way more difficult for them to set up on an objective first, to utilize OUI on this Zyra, to try and play for this kind of front to back with Mirren being that main engage tool once he gets the rapid fire cannon finished.
Yeah. And remember, they used a lot to secure this Twisted Fate, this relatively safe blind pick on the top side, but they haven't been able to do much with it other than, again, punish G2 once or twice. 0-3-2 to score.
Yeah, this blue pick, first pick TF is not really doing great. I mean, outside of when he just hit 6 and he punished the overextension, wasn't able to do actually anything in some of these other fights.
Now to hold the line, G2 going to give them that respect again. They've kind of had to learn by doing in this game when it comes to playing against the Zyra, I feel like, where they're like, all right, well, I don't think the third time phase checking is going to be any different. I don't think going into the Zyra is the answer. But as long as they can split this MDK lineup up, as long as they can find these picks, which they have fantastic tools to do so, I think the fights get so much easier.
And MDK having that push on side lane now, going to move in towards Dragon area with Mirwin. He's like, maybe look for that play before it starts, but Yike fairly strong here, and the initial front-loaded engage from MDK is going to be denied a lot by Mickey with this ultimate, so it does become kind of...
Ring bolt there too, but again, it's the farming Nautilus, and he has MR. Call of Radiance obviously helping a lot with that burst wave clear from Riptide, but also mitigating the damage the Caps can do.
He has the TP to come back into this fight though, so you got the ultimate here, and G2 thought about trying to pressure.
First setup onto the objective that they care about. Broken Blade knows his objective though, and it's taking down Frescowi. Good pushback, but Broken Blade still had the ultimate. Emperor's Divide just going to be traded. The Hextech ultimatum.
Yeah, Yike actually has to leave here. They do have Destiny, but they're just going to commit to the split push, so trade a turret for turrets, maintaining parity in terms of gold.
Drake's Infernal Soul would be Caps. It'd be harder for Frescowi.
And you can see MDK grouping on towards mid, which is why we're seeing 4 members of G2 quickly amass on towards this mid tower, but now they kind of missed their window of opportunity because the push is going to come in bot. Great, but you've got
Balls-Eye back. Hextech ultimatum is there if he wants to dodge anything. The slow is already allies and has pets, but he doesn't really need.
We're skipping forward. Is Zyra jungle strong? No. I mean, I think it's still a little bit unusual, for sure.
Despite not being one of the tankier champions in the game.
Yeah, especially when they knew Caps was on bottom side pushing in. They were like, look, let's BB now. He's definitely getting to that position.
A little bit this patch, the base damage on everybody who was getting their hands on this Camille. If you got past the 2-item point, if you approached 3 items.
Like, there are AP jungle. I mean, I think Nidalee and Karthus are generally stronger at the moment.
You know, he's hitting them with the yawning Teemo, but I think it's Broken Blade who's like, yeah, whatever. He's going to walk into the wave auto once and get all of that health back.
In Korean solo queue right now, Karthus, Nidalee, Talia, these are all much higher at the moment. There's not a lot of Zyra being played.
TP coming in too. Might just be the 2v2. The tower now set up. Frescowi here as well. Broken Blade now realizes he has to back away. The pushback is there.
Did Mad Lions merge with Damonkia? No, they merged with Koi.
Spiraling despair. The kill. Finished by Caps. 1-for-1 on the bottom side. And it's a scramble down to the bottom. Pushback is there, but
to help support Mirwin. Bit of a bait here.
TP coming in too. Might just be the 2v2. The tower now set up.
Oh, he's really going in on this. They're actually trading 1-for-1 there and getting Destiny out's pretty nice. Oh, he didn't actually use Destiny. What the heck? Oh, he does use Destiny. Why does he use Destiny?
Might just be the 2v2. The tower now set up. Frescowi here as well. Broken Blade now realizes he has to back away. The pushback is there, but Miron's not quite ready for the bomb. The hook shot, the wall dive, but Broken Blade will still get taken down, and now it's Caps who's going to be in trouble. Spiraling Despair, the kill finished by Caps. 1-for-1 on the bottom side, and it's a scramble down to the bottom line. Everybody wants to get involved. Oh, yeah, you're rooting up Yike. Hansama waiting off to the side. They got the Targ ultimate to keep them safe. Stun landing on Alvaro, but not the best priority target. Caps coming in over the wall. Severing Bolt not going to connect. Supa still healing up.
All right, nice re-engage. Yeah, I guess a million HP though. Caps. Oh, missed his fear. What a fiesta, guys. What a fiesta.
Super well there. You go, hey, we've got a strong bot side for G2. MDK should go for a play in the top half of the map, but instead they subvert expectations, get the pick on boss, and then turn this fight in their favor as well. And a TP from Fresco to top side. It's a Baron that MDK want to pick up.
And the 1-for-1 at the start.
Feels good to bang again. I know. I'm back in the Korea time zone too for you D-gens. I know some of you enjoyed it when I was in an American time zone, but we're back to this one, I guess.
Can get first access to the Baron, but they're just not far enough ahead in terms of tempo.
Tournament's over, so back to happy gaming. Yeah, this is some big happy gaming energy right here. But they can't happy game too much because they're giving away this Drake as well. Cooking stream soon? Oh boy. I have all my stuff. Guys. I brought it all back to Korea, but I was moving apartments, so now I have to figure out how to set up all my stuff for the cooking stream. I really want to do one. Maybe one later this week if I can figure my shit out. It is very hard. I'll show you after this game, guys. I will show you the equipment and I will tell you why it's so hard to do it.
Gonna have to get creative here.
Severing Bolt for a bit of vision. Alvaro forced back.
Am I playing any RTS right now? No, but I'm hyped about all these RTS that have been announced, man. Like that Battle Aces game looks cool. The one that David Kim, the StarCraft 2 designer, has been working on. Obviously, Immortal Gates of Pyre, and now Stormgate's going to be released this summer.
Just pull the trigger and try to engage. Nice bit of damage onto Alvaro. Poke really starting to hit onto MDK as they try to clear the way, but Caps just hitting ability after ability. Severing Bolt going wide arrow.
You're a chef from NYC, and I'd love to see you cook. It seems like you are passionate. Yeah, I'm also good. I also used to cook in restaurants when I was in college.
He will go down.
Maybe going to push in top side. G2 just going to look to clear this wave as it comes through. They're waiting for the resets on MDK to start, but Super looking happy enough to just continue to heal up off his own Q. And now with the push in top, G2 feeling
make sure to put a recipe list. Yeah, I will put a recipe list everywhere. So I think, guys, what I'm going to do in the long term is have a website built that will hold the recipes. I'm going to go hard at this, guys. I'm really going to try.
And Alvaro, pretty impossible to get a lane. Doesn't even need the Warmogs. Just hard for G2 to burst through that health bar. But they should be able to break down.
Oh, Jean-Georges. Oh, congrats, man. Wow, that's very impressive. You're a lot better than me, I'm sure.
Taking control mid lane, grabbing the easy objective, laying down some vision around the Baron. Get at least a Scryers out as well.
Congrats on your restaurant, man. That's sweet.
MDK trying to respond though before.
I hope you opened it in Brooklyn, where I used to live.
Forcing the flashback. Okay, they traded for
Jeez.
Get established on the side wave. One to look for. Alvaro hook goes wide.
The lethality Varus poke. Jesus, with opportunity. It is in Brooklyn, in Dumbo. Very nice.
God, so close. MDK now forced to retreat. The dynamic shifting so quickly. If Supa gets more time, he can heal up, but he just has to respect every single cue from Caps or Hansama.
That was so close though. So we will kind of have the standoff finish in the mid lane. Will be G2 come away with the win. getting that mid lane tower and everyone backing away, but still you can see how close this game is. Both teams know that this game can break either direction if one mistake comes through, and with the dragon in 2 minutes time, it feels like we're just ramping up for that with a potential third item going to be completed on towards Caps. He's been sitting on this needlessly large rod for a little bit, and also Hansama just finishing off a third item for herself as well.
We're heading towards the apocalyptic fight in 2 minutes
Whereas you're kind of waiting a little bit longer
for Infernal Soul.
Crypt Bloom to come through and
Neighborhood Japanese Asian whiskey bar Makaze. Ooh, nice. That sounds great. I would go if I still lived in New York. Maybe I'll go next time. Next time I find myself in New York.
Guess you've never seen a Senna for some reason, but is getting stronger. And we saw in the previous game, right? As weak as Senna looks early, you just cross a certain point, and the champion becomes super oppressive. Supa, that said, if he gets hit by anything, will probably die. Got hit by a little something there. This time around, there's no follow-up. Ulti going wide. The turn coming back from MDK. They burn their TP2. Are they going to be forced to start the Baron? The poke. Again, any piece of CC hits, Caps immediately can follow up.
And G2, yes, you burned the ultimate from Yike, but that'll be back up in time for Dragon, and no real other summoner spells burned, so MDK investing it, kind of feel like they need to make this pay off now, and Yike, can't be slowed, and we'll get out.
Surprised MDK is looking to fight so much. I thought they would be content to scale. I mean, they have to worry about the poke, though, from G2. I mean, the front line is really huge from G2, and they also have a lot of protection with the Taric ultimate. So I think they have a lot of problems because the dive is so good from G2, like Camille plus Taric ult plus Sejuani, and like they can't stop the split push either.
Join at any moment. Mir went down for 40 seconds. Broken Blade gonna focus on the towers, knowing it's the easy objective. A quick 700 gold into his pocket as Frescali and MDK try to get control over mid. Broken Blade's still going though, and as long as G2 don't fall prey to the top side of MDK.
Broken Blade's looking to TP right here.
Going for the reset.
Yeah, he knows they're gonna they have to try and start this. Especially they have Zyra plants and a very tanky like farm Nautilus, so they're trying to make the play here in the 4v5. Why is MDK like why are they doing this? As soon as they see this TP, they should not be wanting this anymore. Hook is down. And now they can just go in and they can instantly get onto Elyoya in the back line. That's just terrible.
None of the carries are there. No one to follow. Elyoya's ulti. Frescali forced to flash out. Super trying to go. The pushback, though, not under the ideal target. He hand delivers the command. Again, there's no damage. None of the carries are there. No one to follow. Elyoya's ulti. Frescali forced to flash out. Super trying to go. The pushback, though, not under the ideal target. He hand delivers the Camille into the MDK backline. Super, the last man stand. Elyoya's ulti. Frescali forced to flash out. Super trying to go. The pushback, though, not under the ideal target.
He pushes the Camille straight into the Zyra there.
A triple for Broken Blade. Hansama, a slow, potentially inevitable march down. Super flashing out. Mirwin now on the way in. The gold card is there. Caps the sidestep is clean. Super and Mirwin versus the world. They're trying to take it on Hansama, but Mirwin's in trouble.
Ricky's back, baby. Wow. That's such a weird call from Mad Lions. Like, I understand why you do this in order to force out the TP, but once you do that, and once your hook is down, you just have to leave. You don't walk back in. You have no hook. I mean, Elyoya is standing in this backline, just getting hit by absolutely everything. Now you have to deal with a full health Camille walking in a 4 versus 5. Elyoya also doesn't flash. Yeah, you just can't fight that. You can't fight that once you miss some of those abilities.
G2 are battered and bruised, but the Baron. That was Mickey's healing. And Caps is able to just in time to help.
Down to skill first. Hansama follows to make sure that Super gets hit by
They're too low HP to take the Baron. They also just go and take the Drake instead to prevent any kind of soul shenanigans.
But one of them is not Broken Blade.
I mean, BB has had such a successful year. coming in looking absolutely great in the top side for G2, looking spectacular at MSI and really solidify loss.
And remember that it was the Twisted Fate set up by a Yasuo band that were supposed to ensure MDK some kind of control in this game, but it has just been slipping away from them. G2, the favorites coming into this one, and it's looking like that's the way that it'll end as well, because Broken Blade does not care about any of their damage. Jarum's Fist now gonna get saved by Hansama, Mickey X with the Tark ultimate coming down, push back there, Frescowi taken out, Mirwin next. It's just a list, they're going through it one at a time. Okay, by to this one, set up by a Yasuo band.
So now we're just going for the Baron rush, but they have no way to really face check. That's the thing. That's the thing, guys. I mean, they don't have a tank, right? After Alvaro dies. After Alvaro dies in the mid lane, they just have no way to actually deal with this. Like, why is he walking up here? What the fuck, man? Why is he walking up? To farm that wave at 30 minutes into the game. So there's just no way for them to actually walk in to control vision at this point in time.
G2, the favorites coming into this one, and it's looking like that's the way that it'll end as well, because Broken Blade does not care about any of their damage. Jarum's Fist now gonna get saved by Hansama, Mickey X with the Tark ultimate coming down, push back there, Frescowi taken out. But G2 will have to hold off on the death note they're building here, instead focusing on this mid lane push out. 3 members down, the entire top side of MDK taken off the map.
It really was close until it wasn't. BD came online with 2.5 items, and now he's gone to 10 and 3. G2 in the base of MDK. And it's just a case of
Charlie O, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it. We're slowly going to get back online with the streams, guys. Starting this week, now that we've got all the regions starting again. Game was actually really weird and boring. Surely this one won't also be weird and boring. Oh yeah, I said, hold on.
Draft of a final game.
All right, guys. I've decided to lose all my viewership by talking about cooking streams. I know you're very excited about this. All right. So the reason why cooking streams are so complicated, you got to bear with me here for a second, okay? They're very hard to do at the level that I do them, okay? And it took me like a really long time to figure out the actual tech behind this. So I will show you some of the tech that I use, and it's just like, it's like a wiring / technical nightmare that I need to figure out here in Korea. So the core of the operation is this thing. So this is a Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So what this does is it is a 4-way HDMI switcher. And so it allows me, if you guys don't know, to put basically 4 cameras into this thing, and you can switch between them, okay? But it has a lot of built-in effects as well. You know, I won't get into all of it here. It can actually stream to Twitch or YouTube outside of this. Okay. And so the cool thing about this is that using an external hard drive, you could record all 4 cameras, and it creates a DaVinci Resolve timeline of the live edit that then you can switch between any of the 4 camera angles. So it's very cool, but it's also very hard because I have to run a million cables around my kitchen, like HDMI cables, and then set up all of the cameras, have them all on stands or tripods or aimed the right direction. There's a lot of other tech that goes into it. So here, for example, these are called Rode Wireless Go 2s. So these are wireless mics, okay, that have a receiver. And so they have lavalier microphones that like go up your shirt and attach to your collar. So I have to have all of these wireless mics too for myself and for Susie or anybody else who's guesting on it. And then this is the receiver, right? And this hooks into an audio interface. Which looks like this. This is the Scarlett Focusrite. So basically the receiver goes into this thing, and then this goes into a computer. Okay, so it is to get the 4 camera setup, and then either myself or Susie in the past has done the switching between cameras, right? But I usually have like, so in the kitchen, what I've had previously is I've had the camera I'm looking into right now. So I have 2 mirrorless Sony cameras. One of them is like a wide shot of me standing in the kitchen. Another one's a close-up of my cutting board. I have an arm that goes over the cutting board to give a top-down view of the cutting board. And then I also have a different camera, a camcorder, over the stove, so you can see what's actually what I'm actually cooking on the stove. So I have 4 cameras that get switched between. And then Susie used to, you know, do the production and then read Twitch chat to me. However, now I have the Elgato prompter, which is a new piece of tech. So I can actually put Twitch chat on that. I can read your guys' Twitch chat right here, which makes it a lot easier. But yeah, this stuff took me a long time to figure out like the best way to do cooking streams. And I promise you, I have the most advanced cooking streams on Twitch. Like when I figured all of this out, it's also very expensive. I mean, this thing alone is like $800, but it's an amazing piece of equipment. So it's very cool, and I am very excited to do these cooking streams again. But the reason why I haven't done one yet since I got back was because I was moving, and because now I actually have to set it all up. But I brought back just a ridiculous number of cables and everything like that in order to get all this stuff going, right? So I have the stuff I need now. I have the stuff I need for the most part. I mean, it's just that switcher's $800. I mean, everything else is. I mean, the cameras are like, you know, $1,300 each. And I don't use super nice cameras for everything. Like the above shot down onto my. I mean, I use HD cameras, but like some of them are not super nice Sony mirrorless cameras. But no joke, like all in all, you know, obviously I use these cameras for my normal streams as well and for my shows, so it's not like I bought everything for the cooking streams. And I use these wireless mic. These are the wireless mics in here. I used these wireless mics for our Worlds like stream with me and Doa a couple years ago, and I've used it for a bunch of other stuff. So it's not like I just use it for this content, but I mean the total cost of like everything that goes into that cooking stream is like, I don't know, $5,000-$10,000. You know, I just have this. This is one of the cameras. This is a Sony Alpha 7S, which is a very nice mirrorless camera. It makes you like $30. Well, so far. But that's why. I will set it all up again. But that's why we are where we're at. The total cost for your setup on a wedding day as photographer. Oh yeah, I'm sure you have to have like 3 cameras, a million lenses. Yeah, I'm sure it's like 10 or 20K for sure. Tools of the trade, you know. I get it.
Of the day, G2 versus SK. G2 had a bit of a rough early game yesterday against Mad Lions, but they bounced back in very effective fashion. We saw some crazy outplays. Like, the one that really impressed me was the Mickey Yike one in mid lane, where they, like, as a duo got the kill onto the Azir. Just really great stuff. So, mechanically, G2 definitely on form, even though it's been a very long year for them. So, let's see what they've cooked up for us today. Ashe and Lucian.
A lot of 80 carry bands.
I mean, this is like, sorry, I was blown away. I was like, are we at MSI? Like, these are...
I've seen these bands somewhere before. I swear we had
Forest
3
Callisto
patches.
band?
Hey, Rumble?
Rumble.
So
Makes
far,
no
MSI
sense.
bands.
Yep. So let's see, what will the last band be? Are you going to take Callista, Draven, away from SK?
All right, it's interesting. Like, we did see the Draven and Callista bands coming in the last match, but they're not going to be seeing that this time. So we're still going to first pick for G2 Varus 2 games in a row. They're going to go ahead and take a look at Callista. Hoi just blinded here. Poppy coming in. Obviously, that's going to be a flex. That's going to be a 3-way flex for them. This is a 3-way flex for G2. You know, people will look at it and say, oh, Mickey X played it very well during MSI, but Broken Blade also plays it. Yike will also potentially play it.
I'm expecting a mid lane pick here, but it's going to be Rek'Sai. That's likely locked in for Yike, something that he brought out already last split, and we've already been seeing it from close. We've been seeing it a little bit more popular here in the early season.
Guys, use your brains. If Papa Smithy was not going to trust his coaches and GMs to make roster decisions, then why the fuck would he even hire them?
I'm living for these photos. You just look so serious.
You have to trust your staff.
Has, of course, locked in Renata. So, close to Renata for the bottom lane, as well, Comfort. As we enter the second ban phase, though, important to note,
Ascent Protein is the first protein powder that didn't immediately have the why would protein powder have you go to the bathroom? Is it just because you have lactose intolerance? Ascent Protein powder is awesome.
Inform referees long before the ban timer expired, allowing the verbal ban to be communicated to G2 within the timer's limit. It's considered a valid Nico ban, not a missed one. So what you are currently seeing as a ban timer expired, allowing the verbal ban to be communicated to G2. Rahel's client being in Korean, but the keyboard being an English keyboard. However, SK informed referees long before the ban timer expired, allowing the verbal ban to be communicated to G2 within the timer's limit. But the key, though,
what's the ban?
To note, we're hearing from league officials that SK Gaming was unable to find Nico in time due to Rahel's client being in Korean, but the keyboard being an English keyboard. However, SK informed referees long before the ban timer expired, allowing the verbal ban to be communicated to G2 within the timer's limit. It's considered a valid Nico ban, not a missed one. So what you are currently seeing,
fair enough,
blank little cancel symbol right there, little ban symbol in that 4th slot is actually
Monty ran about the esports awards. No, that's coming up, guys. That's going to be 4 Horsemen almost certainly.
The problem without needing to delay the game at all.
Yep. so Nico going to be banned away. We'll see what the final ban is. Talia makes a lot of sense. Obviously very powerful in the current meta. Typically something we've seen Prio picked along with Corki, but that has made its way through the draft here today. Twisted Fate, what will be the finish here for G2? Cassante, of course, still open. Will they look to ban away something like the Camille as a potential?
Ooh, the real MSI throwback. Cassante versus Twisted Fate.
I was on the panel too, Ferret. I left at the same time Thorin did.
Yep,
Absolutely.
I spent, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. I forget which one it was. At least 2 years on the panel.
Camille does suggest that
Camille versus
G2
Jax
once again.
Camille versus Jax.
Oh yeah, Irrelevant's the Jax
Relevant,
guy.
the Jax guy
He is the
versus
Jax
Brokeplay,
guy.
who yesterday was certainly the Camille guy. Give us the spice.
All right, SK, what have we got? Sijuan, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Front ultimate.
D1 was a lot.
I mean, this is something that they would have drafted at MSI. We've seen Caps play Split Push Azir, we've seen him play Teamfight Azir, obviously a very effective Azir player, as you would expect.
Alright, so it is actually just going to be the Poppy support, no surprises here.
Nah, bit of a throwback. Nah did receive some buffs on 14-11, I believe. He's been struggling favorites, so shouldn't be too much of a surprise. He's very
Perfect on KT. His answer into the Cassante is always the Gnar.
From the Gnar as well. Have a lot of so I proposition. Both
You would be excited just from in that fans are offered flag. Interestingly, press the attack.
What's SK's support's name? Luan.
Oh yes, that's true. We've been seeing First Strike pop up more from things like Hui and Varus, just because of the changes. I think these are champions that can take full advantage.
So pretty straightforward front-to-back team fighting composition coming in from SK. More or less true of G2 as well.
Chance to celebrate. Everyone in the house, whether you're a G2 fan or a fan of anybody, Hansama 400 LEC games. He left us very briefly for Team Liquid, but despite
sorry, that was no. I meant to do that one. Sorry, Hans. That was my mistake. I'm sorry. I was meant to do
Congrats
confetti.
to Hansama. Obviously, huge milestone. Happy to have him into the league. And we'll see if he can make this 400th game one to remember. You can put confetti on there now if you want to put the fire away. You're banned.
Put it there.
Yeah. You're banned.
Yay! Congratulations.
Woo! So, congrats on Hansama. Obviously, very tenured player.
Back on the Hail of Blades Poppy bullshit. I love it.
Back when we were casting Challenger, one of the many 80 carries in this league who was hyped.
We cast most of these people in Challenger. We cast Caps in Challenger when he used to play for like Millennium or something. I forget what team it was.
Yeah, Millennium. We missed out on the TCL years. He missed out on TCL Internationals. And Mickey already getting the Hail of Blades. Proc's going.
But he's losing.
To fire autos, but press the attack, making him a little bit stronger. The 1v1, he just got 2v2 killed again. G2's bottom lane obliterated by Hansama.
All right. What is this? What are these shenanigans?
Like Millennium or something. I forget what team it was.
Yeah, Millennium. We missed out on
Oh, of course, because Mickey has W at level 1 versus Callista, like you do.
He missed out on TCL Internationals.
And he's going to go pick up his buckler, have to flash out. Rahel goes in, actually finishes the kill, but Hansama is just able to kill him with Verisi, and we go 1 for 1.
I would argue that's more worth for G2 though. Rahel commits all of his summoner spells.
That's definitely more worth for G2. Hansama didn't use any of his sums.
Mickey already getting the Hail of Blades. Proc's going. Hansama continuing to fire autos, but press the attack, making him a little bit stronger. The 1v1, he just got 2v2 killed again. G2's bottom lane.
Are Rahel and Luan Korean? Yes, they are. They're the new bot lane.
I would argue that's more worth for G2 though. Rahel commits all of his summoner spells to get a kill onto Mickey, and while it is first blood, Hans gets a kill back, and he gets to stay in lane. So he's gonna still get to soak up this wave's XP. Longsword pickup for Rahel is going to be a nice thing to have in the laning phase. Of course, you can see him with a small CS lead for now, but that's going to disappear. I'm curious as to the lane state of those. If you can quickly show us the lane. So it's also pushing towards Hans, which just kind of adds insult to injury. Thank you so much for that.
I also love Poppy so much. What a great champion Poppy is. We are all Poppy appreciators here. Damn, my stream very low viewership today, guys. That's what happens when I don't stream for 3 weeks. And nobody knows that summer has started. Nobody knows that there are actually League of Legends games being played right now.
Passive, gonna get taken away. Good damage onto Isma. Yike heavily favored in the 1v1 with the stun already there. Luan flash forward. The handshake. The pull pullback. They're trying to finish the job on a Yike. Yike getting lower and lower. Mickey trying to finish the kill. Yike flashing out, getting
Time change as well. Yeah, I'm back to the old time after doing all of MSI in America time. All right, what shenanigans are going on down here? Are you literally just level 3 ganking bot pre 3 minutes? Flash handshake in for Luan. Yeah, he has to flash an E out. Or actually, he just uses the tunnel as it comes off cooldown. Good awareness, though. He basically flashes almost right as it comes off that cooldown. Oh! Severing bolt there from Niski. Also, nobody ever watches Summer in nobody ever watches Summer in League of Legends. Summer viewership at the start is like the lowest viewership of, actually not right at the start, usually first weekend's all right, but like, you know, in the middle of Summer Split is like the lowest viewership in League of Legends. Nobody watches it anymore. Besides BLG and TS, do you have any opinions on which other LPL teams will make Worlds? I don't know. I need to see anyone's Legend. I haven't seen enough yet of this split of LPL, but there's lots of hype around them right now. Obviously, FPX was really hype, and NIP was pretty hype, you know, at the end of the summer playoffs, but I don't have a good opinion on that right now. Once I get back into the swing of doing these VOD reviews, I will have opinions once again. The FPX drama, yeah, they're probably cooked.
Overall, explosive early game again. Han still favored in terms of XP for now. Israel does what he can to push the wave in. Hans is landing the poke here. Will be that much harder, but of course Rahel, you know, has that early mobility when Poppy's not in his face to just kind of sidestep a lot of those Varus arrows. Wave crashing the top side, going to force the TP out from Irrelevant, who, okay face, right? Like, would have liked to finish full tabbies, or at least gotten something else here. Again, you mentioned earlier, Gnar was buffed on this patch. Scaling ratio on the Boomerang, it was up by about 10%, as well as a bit of additional AD growth. So we'll hit a bit harder in lane, but still, obviously, around level 6 is really where Cassante is going to start to be a problem in the top lane.
Cassante with a very similar base. See boots plus armor picked up. Makes a lot of sense in this matchup. Turn my attention to the junglers once more. Isma clearing out his top side, moving towards the enemy Raptors. Knows he has push with Niski. This is a combo we praised highly at the beginning of the year. Isma, a young player, of course, rookie joining the scene. Expectations were high when paired up alongside a veteran in Niski, and we saw some promising things. Things didn't quite pan out the way that we expected.
Thank you, Meatball Blastero, for your Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate you.
See how things change.
Over, Mickey looking for an angle. Nice handshake from Luan.
Luan doing a good job of just working with Isma. This bot lane continues to impress. Of course, Rahel losing his life in exchange for a kill early on. He's now kind of suffering the consequences of that. Looks like that he will be going, you know, you already mentioned press the attack earlier, that on-hit build with the lifesteal already picked up for him.
The struggle is it makes it that much harder to play the lane right now.
Yeah.
Obviously with the poke build, you can do a lot to just clear the wave, get the spears to kind of cascade through the minions.
Wave is pushing towards him though. He's a full level down right now. Obviously that is because he hasn't been able to catch this far.
Ice Shadow, thank you for your tier 1 gift sub to Cali Dios. I'm sure they are very appreciative. Abomasum123, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. All right, we're back to playing aggressively in the bot side for Mickey X. What else would he do, of course?
Isma here will be spotted, instantly goes onto Mickey. Target already locked down, stun is there, it's one squishy. Poppy Luan instantly grabs the kill. Excellent read from the side of SK. Diving into level 2. Isma here.
I was just right there to get Q Sejuani into handshake, into dead. Great. I hated having that advantage in bot side that G2 had gained.
Wasn't expecting Sejuani to be in that angle. Wasn't able to use the steadfast presence in time.
It was just incredibly free.
And I think it was the ignite from Luan that ends up picking it up. He's now 2-0-2 on the Renata. And it's SK with a lead over G2 in this early game.
And I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but maybe.
Don't ever say that again, Dragos.
Be forced to back up here. Mickey showing his presence mid. Maybe Luan should stop taking the kills.
Hey.
I don't know if he needs the money. His AD is kind of
I
broke.
think he's earned them, okay? You know? He's the one doing the work here.
It is strange some people don't know you can easily link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch to give your favorite channels like MonteCristo a free subscription with Twitch Prime. That is crazy, Meatball Blastero. I've been watching you and Thorin since LoL Season 4. Appreciate the content you and Thorin have put out since my college years. We keep at it. Thank you, Ice Shadow.
Look at a calling in silence.
Hopefully you are also appreciating some of our non-esports content now, like on the LFN Culture channel, which is now making people angry because we didn't like Dune very much.
Has push in the mid wave. Something is top lane of the Conqueror. Flash committed.
Q flash back from Niski. Up just in time to deny Caps that angle. Of course, flash trade is just for the ulti, so overall still favors Caps there in that instance, but Grub's gonna get taken down. SK managed to get one back, so 2-for-1 trade overall. Yikes, slightly favored, and SK pushing up in the mid lane.
Thoughts on Upset feeling well upset with the LAC casters coverage of him? I think he should suck it up. Why does he care what the casters say?
As he should be. Not nearly good enough information. Pressure still in the bot lane.
Red buff is now.
Oh, walking up, Ismo over the wall, spiraling.
Villanova was my favorite 4-play arc so far. Yeah, it was good.
Well played from Caps. Keeps himself alive.
I'm surprised more people weren't upset with your opinions on that X-Men show. Dude, that X-Men show is not very good. Why do people like that stuff? Like, it's just nostalgia bait. It's not good in and of itself.
When we think of Niski teams, often it's a roster that has both jungle and support playing around Niski to unlock him to then impact the rest of the map. And we're seeing that presence being felt right now.
It's all right, guys. I have to watch the Acolyte this week for my show with Doa. Pray for me. I hear it's so bad. Doa messaged me and he said it was the worst TV show he had ever seen. So, and he is a Star Wars apologist, so it must be truly awful.
Meanwhile, Irrelevant has slowly been building a lead in the top side of the map. About a 400 gold lead, about a kill lead, which is about, you know, you can see in the CS discrepancy. I think he's been able to get a plate as well. In terms of the
Doa doesn't like something has to be terrible. That's my thought, Papa. I know, especially a Star Wars thing. Like when he said that, I was like, "Holy shit! This must be truly bad."
We'll see if they can convert this though. It's been a struggle for many teams. It's the mid game where G2 often find much of their success, while in MSI against top esports, they're really.
The heck is an Acolyte? It is a terrible new Star Wars show.
Their mid game is really the big thing that they've been working on domestically.
But it's okay. We'll make it funny for you guys.
Comfort picks to do that.
And while ultimately I think we could be.
I thought our Dune 1984 episode was very funny
There's still a couple heads
that we did.
in some of these early games from G2, both in the first games. Obviously, them getting 2v.
So you don't have to watch it. You can just watch me lose my mind slowly while hating it.
They're a hard team to judge.
Yeah.
Truly feels like 50% of Star Wars media is ass. Oh, dude. My friend Gino. 90% of Star Wars media is ass. Literally everything except for the original trilogy and Andor is shit. All of it. Miss me with your Rogue One takes.
They did evoke some hope, but let's see if SK can shut something down.
Yike immediately killed. Niski now caught up, but he managed to get the fear on the cap to stop any potential pushback going through. Berserk, excellent ulti. Caps running out of angles, running out of places to run, and SK just taking their time here to finish off the kill. They're dominating G2 in this early, and that's a 2K lead at 10 minutes.
A massive overstep from Yike and SK. SK can shut some.
They're not out. They're not dead till they're dead.
Yeah.
You know, until they're gone.
But
Yike unburrows, walks around, gets ulted, has no backup, and dies. All right. That's certainly a play that you could do as a player of League of Legends.
Running out of angles, running out of places to run, and SK just taking their time here to finish off the kill. They're dominating G2 in this early, and that's a 2K lead at 10 minutes.
a massive overstep from Yike and SK with a great punish. Really nice stuff. Luon finds himself with a killing.
Rogue One was fine.
0-3
Look, it's okay, but nobody ever knows what who the characters are, or why they're important.
I'm not sure what he's doing here.
And my complaint with Rogue One is it could have been a really cool Star Wars spy film. It could have been basically what Andor is, but instead it has to have a giant stupid battle at the end where they actually just ruin the beginning of A New Hope, because apparently, they have this space battle. Darth Vader's there. He literally chases Leia's ship, and then Leia decides to lie to Darth Vader at the start of A New Hope, saying she's on a diplomatic mission when she was literally just chased from the battle at Endor. So it's the least believable lie of all time. And she must think Darth Vader is just a complete fucking idiot. He was chasing her from the battle where they stole the plans. So it makes everything stupid.
Han Solo is pathing towards top lane. He's just overextended. His team isn't really there to assist. And so Isma says, all right, fine, I'll just ult you. The ultimate, look at that. He flashes in to get the ultimate from Renata. Then he gets pulled back so the Renata ultimate, the Azir ultimate doesn't connect onto him. And then he uses the Renata ultimate to then go back over the wall to assist Niski in getting that kill. That's a happy Swiffer. No,
look at that little grin. He's holding himself back.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want to be too excited. He knows. He remembers.
I hate it when Swiffer's happy.
It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, the coach cam is a double-edged sword.
Most certainly is. All right. So now the real test, of course, as we approach the middle stages of the game, can SK keep the snowball going? Can they continue to find favorable fights? And of course, can they close out against G2 if they can build that bigger lead? It's hard. It's never done with G2. It always feels like they'll be able to find that angle to come back. Broken Blade. Looking for the angle to keep the fight going. Cap standing off to the side. Really want to finish this kill on Irrelevant. Obviously going to get a nice bit of health there as he turns over
It's
to
a lot
Mega.
of time committed from Caps, though, to not really get much for it. It's going to allow Niski to get this free push in mid. Then he can actually work with his team to set up a potential dive in top lane. Hansama is isolated.
TP there. Flash back from Hansama. Flash forward from
All right, the one player who is ahead. Now we're just going to get that kill. We're going to get a bunch of plates. Ooh, almost got the bailout.
Still, the kill was traded back. Mint SK with 2 kills. They're looking for 3.
McKee gets interrupted on the knockback. It's clutch now. Clutches back under the tower. Rahel in trouble. Rahel gonna drop. No bailout left. McKee will at least get 1 in return.
It's a 2 for 3, but SK with their aggression, just great awareness, and it's all because of Caps appearing in the bot lane. It allows Niski to get that push in mid, start the rotation up top, but they also garner all the information that they need in order to make that dive happen. A guaranteed numbers advantage, well executed, forcing all the summoner spells out from Hansama means that SK extend their gold lead now to 2.5k.
Ooh, and it's gonna get that much harder now for G2 to find these angles and find these plays, especially for Hansama. The arrow very easily mitigated now by the Mikhails has been picked up by Luan. He's rich. Buying the item much sooner than anticipated, along with Mickey. He's been able to find that wall.
Look at this 1.3k gold lead over Caps.
They're strong. And look at early lock coming in from Isma too. So burst damage coming out from the side of G2 is just going to be very heavily mitigated for at least the next couple fights.
Grub's being started off.
G2 actually going to get one of the buffs, though.
Question is, will they go for more?
I mean,
Yes, this might.
they can just walk away. All right, they get 5. It doesn't matter that much.
Timing is good to make sure he can walk away. So SK caught sleeping a little bit here. We'll see what they can do.
Oh, actually, I don't think SK is going to be too unhappy about that. Execute.
Isma too. So burst in. Okay, so SK caught sleeping a little bit here. We'll see what they can do once they take down this crab.
Dragon, we missed that spawning in the immediate vicinity. Why not just contest to this objective instead? Yikes, still needs to
Just cross map for Drake, though.
I don't think SK is going to be too unhappy about that. Makes it easier to siege onto this mid tower against an Azir and a Varus that have great wave clear. It can be a difficult thing to do, and Herald always a great tool to just help you open up that mid lane.
Good morning, Khaled. She said, "Media, there are some great games in there." That's true. The Star Wars games have been actually pretty fire recently.
Good damage onto Mickey.
Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor I thought were quite good.
A little bit more damage there. SK just
Apparently they're going to make a Knights of the Old Republic TV show too, which, you know, if they do it well and they follow the actual story of the game, could be really good. Thank you, Skylar Perry, for your Twitch Prime sub.
Captain America hits him with the buckler, and down he goes. But SK got 2 towers on the top side. They're gonna get mid as well. For a second,
Yeah, the thing is, the price here is just so severe, right?
But really cannot afford to stay under that tower, so gonna try to grab A little bit more damage there.
Free turret in the top side, thanks to the Herald usage. They haven't even taken the Drake yet. They're going to go for the dive onto Irrelevant instead before he actually does hit Mega. Ooh.
He's trying to get away. Mickey's got the buckler. Can they finish the kill here? The tower already falling down. Mininar's going to mean a movement speed steroid. Yike looking for the price.
I mean, look at this, though. It just allows them to pressure onto tier 2 because everybody has to chase him down. So they're going to get mid, too. Yes, I will do power rankings again.
I mean, it's 3 members committed to killing Irrelevant. It's Mickey who only gets the kill, and SK is just cross-mapping so effectively. They get so much more off the back of that play. This SK feels like a different look from what we saw at the beginning of the year. They said they needed a change. They said they needed to make something happen, and I mean, so far, it is working.
And look, based on the plays we've seen, based on the cross maps we've seen, the macro that we've seen from SK in this game, I'm optimistic, but
they still got to end it.
They still got.
Wow, he's got Landry's and Blackfire Torch now. Just the dots are crazy out of this way.
This should have been won. That should have been done against teams much lower on the total poll than G2. So to close out against G2, even with a solid lead like this,
It's crazy to me that you can have both of those items at the same time.
But Caps splitting on the side lane, we'll get a tower back. SK, that said though, the entire last sequence of play is so good for them. They get second Drake, continuing to stack up. They get Herald. They get multiple towers, 3 in the grand scheme of things.
So I mean, the other huge factor, Dracos, is if SK do win this, certain podcast hosts are going to be getting DMs about their tier list.
Certain podcast hosts are already getting DMs about their tier lists. So,
well,
bring it on.
Bring it.
You can never hurt me. I put BDS.
Why do teams don't want Niski? I mean, they do want Niski.
So,
I mean, Niski's a good player until he starts inting, you know what I mean? The scary thing about Niski is, like, you know, once he gets to 3-0 and 3 that he's just going to, like, run it down at some point in time. He can never play, like, a complete game when he gets a lead. He always has to, like, give up a shutdown or something like that. But he's a very good player, very selfless player, very good teammate. I mean, teams do want him. I mean, SK did actually pay a premium for him.
17 minutes of the game is a damn good place to be. 2.1k gold lead. This is a fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Anya to Kalista is tough, especially when you're just not going to be able to get a lot of autos down. Right? Like, how do you get a lot of autos down with a Poppy on top of you? You definitely shouldn't be going on hit here. I think you definitely go lethality Kalista. Like, the Poppy can just flash on you with WE or flash on you.
It's also a new lineup, right? Like, SK obviously knew that they wanted to pick up these players, had to get these players over, got them acclimated. They made a great content piece about, like, the efforts that they're making to really integrate Rahel and Luan into the team. But the fact that they're doing this well in the early game, and the isolated 2v2 as new players in the lineup is good. The fact that they've already started working together with Isma is a great sign. I don't want to oversell it. It is a single game. It's a damn good look for a team that, when so many teams are struggling to integrate their new players, SK hitting the ground running like this in a game versus G2 is huge.
Certainly is. Again, we'll see if they can ride this momentum forward. G2, a team that you can never really afford to count out. The reason why they often get given the benefit of the doubt is because of their pedigree as an organization. Isma, though,
what?
Utilizing this pressure.
Good arrow, immediate McHale's, though.
To count out. The reason why they often get given the benefit of the doubt is because of their pedigree as an organization.
So it looks like he's coming in to smite shield and then ult him, but then he just W's instead, and then use the McHale's on the Varus ult as the TB comes in. Genji Golden Road this year? I mean, we can really hope. Genji is an org, man. I don't know if you guys saw, but they just won that Valorant, the Shanghai Major or whatever. Like, they've now won MSI and the Shanghai Major in Valorant. Like, if they can win, and they won the domestic title in Korea, like, if they win Worlds or, like, Champions for Valorant, they're going to have one of the best years for any org ever. You know, Cloud9, for example, in 2018, they made semifinals of Worlds, won Overwatch League with the London Spitfire, and then won the Boston Major in CS. That was one of the best org years ever. But Genji has a chance to do it even bigger.
Yes, like other goats. You've seen them climb mountains. How do they stay up on the side of those mountains, Betty?
They're a
I don't
crafty
understand.
No, it's actually from the word one medic in a cast. One said he's like a crafty whale.
A shame there's no esports awards to award Genji. I know it's really tragic, right?
Problem is between unhinged medic days and hysterics.
You've got to let a few more.
They will be going to the Esports World Cup. Esports Team of the Year Falcons. Yeah, I know, right? Twisted Minds, Esports Team of the Year. I mean, the fact is like the Esports Awards are going to be horribly biased, right? Because they won't award anybody anything who has spoken against the Saudis, including like all of the journalists, right? Because the journalists have all been speaking up pretty heavily about the Saudis and their, you know, inclusion. Like, no, not just only Thorin and Richard Lewis, but like James Fudge. You know, a lot of the big kind of important journalists out there in the space. So like, I have no idea how they're going to award Journalist of the Year, and you can't award it like. The other thing is people who don't come to Riyadh, because Esports Awards would manipulate winners for who would come to the live event. So it's going to be tough.
They see Caps on top wave, but it's a fight of a vision right now. SK clearing out this mid wave, and it's just kind of control, it's setup. Items are being completed, people are trying to spend as much gold as they can. Caps going for a high investment build. The death cap second, because he needs that extra bit of gold. I can quickly check how far off he is.
Sweeper gonna spot out the last bit of vision.
He's very far off, I can tell you that right now.
That is a broke Azir. 2.3k gold lead individually for Niski.
It's an auto win for the Pokemon journalist. The real question is, will that Pokemon journalist wear like a Pokemon fursuit to accept their award in Riyadh?
Before he can actually complete that, and I can tell you right now the dragon's gonna spawn before that. But sometimes it's something pros talk about. It is dangerous to go for these more expensive items early on, just because you won't have the spikes at the right times, right? So maybe G2 just concede this dragon in exchange for allowing Caps more time to farm in the top lane.
And we'll see if they want to fight for this third Drake. They do have decent setup here. SK have kind of used all of their vision resources on the top side of the map, making sure they have info around Baron, making sure they have info on the side lane. Caps in the isolated 1v1 up against Niski.
Uh-oh, my fan died. It's not good.
There might be a fight in mid lane, so we'll keep our attention here. Going in from Isma, flashback from Hansama, still getting hit by the slow. Mickey X looking for the disengage here. Is going to knock back two, and now Isma suddenly realizes this is not the fight that he thought it was. Hostile takeover is good, but Isma
Uh-oh.
to fall. Will get taken down, bail out. In the isolated
Sorry, I was messing with my fan during this ARAM.
Mid lane, so we'll keep our attention here. Going in from Isma, flashback from Hansama, still getting hit by the slow. Mickey X looking for the disengage here. Is going to knock back two, and now Isma.
All right, so trying to take out Isma. Nice Poppy ult. Opportunity to go Baron here.
Beautiful disengage from the Poppy ult.
Yeah, a huge Poppy ult there from Mickey.
They could also go Drake and then just put pressure on tier 2 and top side. All right, they don't want to go for the Baron yet, despite the fact that I think they might have been able to pull it off.
I feel like forcing that fight, the idea is good. You get the flash out from Hans. You may have found a pick. Could have been a great opportunity, but playing around the dragon, I feel like was an easy objective, an easier play to make with the gold.
I wonder if any of the LEC casters who are surprised at the advertising pride are going to show up at the Esports World Cup. No, I don't think any of them will, guys. Not from what I've heard. I don't have problems with the casters going to the Esports World Cup either. I just have a problem if they were previously virtue signaling on Twitter. That's it. Don't care at all if you go work Esports World Cup as long as you weren't pretending to have values previously.
I mean, yeah, he feels very safe. Like, you look at the Hui right now, very afraid to cross that line. Of course, he knows that his team is, his jungler specifically on the bot side of the map, but Azir cares a little bit less about that just because the added mobility that you have.
But I also know, guys, that all of those casters are going to have to capitulate and work for the Saudis eventually. Because all of those casters have built nothing for themselves. They own nothing. And so they're dependent on day rates. And whenever the Saudis completely take over the League of Legends circuits, they're just going to have to work for them.
Poppy ultimate, rather, from Mickey really stymies that play, gives the Drake over to G2, slows down SK. And this is a position that so many teams have been in domestically against.
Can't wait for the LEC, because remember,
you're 4K up, you're 3K
LEC stands for League of Legends EMEA Championship. I can't wait for the LEC finals to be in Riyadh. That'll happen. Shox can host literally anything. What, oh, but she's still going to have to work for ESL, probably. What are you going to do when ESL owns the Western League of Legends circuit and they produce Worlds and MSI?
Broken Blade with a massive play in mid as G2 get initiated on, but turn the fight in their favor. Going, Isma slowly getting cut down. Irrelevant finally here. Rahel just doesn't do any. Come out, gonna clip Hansama. He's gonna auto attack the minions. Meanwhile, triple knockup coming in from Yike. Unstoppable now. Broken Blade in the midst of the fight.
Broken Blade here, man.
This one going. Isma slowly getting cut down. Irrelevant finally
Gets the Q3 right there into ult on Rahel.
Again, we're seeing the hostile takeover come out. Gonna clip Hansama. He's gonna auto attack the minions. Meanwhile, triple knockup coming in from Yike. The base. Hansama now needs to back away, but immediately he's gonna see the cleanse. Piercing arrow coming through. It's not gonna do a whole hell of a lot of damage. You're 2K up.
Of course. Let's look at what happens in this top side, because I was wondering what happened to Niski. So he goes and picks up this farm. He gets ulted, right? He gets ulted by Caps and dies in the top lane. So it looks like it's a good play, actually, by, I'm sure we'll see a replay of it, but he actually slides all the way. He still had a Sand Soldier under the turret, looks like. Caps actually just baits him. Caps actually just baits him. Big opportunity for G2 to equalize here. What if all the players refuse to play? Why would the players refuse to play? They don't care. They like to continue receiving their paychecks.
Now the Baron is up for the taking, and a single misplay from SK may have been enough for G2 to turn this game around.
Isma's got no smite. G2 might not have perfect information on it, so they're going to
won't take
off.
the risk. They're going to play it safe. I mean, still a huge win. Is going to continue to get stronger. And Broken Blade.
Yeah, what happened to the top side?
Basically isolating Isma. Then when Broken Blade arrives, it's a 4v3. They think
we're just not going to see it. So right here, it really looks like he had just left a soldier underneath, and then he forces a flash, and then flash follows ult to get the kill. I'd love to see what happened in that top side, because it looked like it was a mind game from Caps, where he basically correctly guessed that Niski was going to come back and try and farm that wave under turret, and then he set up a trap for him.
Great play from him. And G2 feeling a lot more confident now. The game is largely reset.
I guess we're just never going to see that play. It looked like a cool play, potentially.
I think Broken Blade is scarier.
Well, the problem now is Irrelevant, Flashless, Isma, Flashless, Niski, Flashless,
This is the problem when you fire observers, guys, is that you actually can't go back in time. Because, like, here's one of the things that you'll notice about... Here's one of the things that you'll notice about LEC. Right, is that basically now what happens is that we only have the exact same footage that we had previously, because they don't have an observer to rewind the clock in the game to show us a different angle. So when you used to have multiple observers in the game, you could not only show the footage that had already happened, because this gets put into what is basically a replay machine, guys, by production. So they can rewind basically the broadcast, but they used to be able to rewind the game, but I don't think they can do that anymore.
Still scary, but I think Broken Blade is scarier.
Well, the problem now is Irrelevant, Flashless, Isma, Flashless, Niski, Flashless, Luon, Flashless, Rahel, Flashless. The next fight is not in the favor of SK, and their gold lead is all but non-existent now. It's 4K just moments ago, but G2 have converted so beautifully, and now it's
the gold
really
lead's
hard
going
to
to
play.
disappear. Broken Blade's going to get a solo tower.
That's the last of it. Mickey now pulling the trigger on the fight. Isma trying to back away. Mikhail's not going to be too effective against the knockup. Mickey, again, just trying to front line alongside Yike here. They don't want to overcommit. Happy to just try and poke away. Niski stepping up.
Melting.
They're getting lower and lower. Cap shredding through it. That's the power of the Azir. So good at taking the objective. Good poke here. Irrelevant trying to run in. Nice knock.
Oh my god, he got yanked out. Wait, what the fuck was that?
Power of the Azir. here, so
Irrelevant,
good at
no
taking the
TP.
objective. Good poke here. Irrelevant trying to run in. Nice knockback. Pullback is good though from Rahel to keep them in the poke here. Irrelevant trying to
He gets pulled back by Callisto.
Pullback is good though from Rahel to keep them in the fight. Baron already down, but SK want to keep this fight going. Flash in from here, so good at taking the objective. Good poke.
Wait, why are they even doing this play
Just moments ago, but G2 converted so beautifully.
without TP?
It's going to disappear. Broken Blade's going to get a solo tower.
That's the last of it. Mickey now pulling the trigger on the fight. Isma trying to back away. Mikhail
Yeah, they're able to TP in off of this with no TP on as soon as they see the Gnar. Just free.
Happy to just try and poke away. Niski stepping up.
Melting.
They're getting lower and lower. Cap shredding through it. That's the power of the
I mean, it's well played by Luan and Rahel. Like,
good poke.
Luan
Irrelevant
is able to tank that
run in. Nice knock.
ultimate.
Pullback is good though from Rahel to keep them in the fight. Baron already down, but SK want to keep this fight going. Flash in from Mickey though. The follow up there. Yank gonna find the knock up. Irrelevant off to the side, starting to stack the rage, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Broken Blade finally gonna drop down. Yank pullback is good though from Rahel to keep them in the fight. Baron already down, but SK want to keep this fight going. Flash in from Mickey though.
Oh, Yike also only gets the one knockup. That's unfortunate.
Starting to stack the rage, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Broken Blade fight. Nice knockback. Pullback is good though from Rahel to keep them in the fight. Baron already down, but SK want to keep this fight going.
They also just don't have any Azir damage in this fight whatsoever. The turn's pretty bad from G2.
Irrelevant is here, shut down. Double kill for the Gnar on the chase, but doesn't have the flash. That should just be it. 2 Baron buffs left standing for G2.
Irrelevant finally arrived.
If that Poppy ult hits anybody else, it's probably just game over for G2 and they win. Baron buff.
If G2 die, they lose so many Baron buffs too, along with a mid tower secured for SK.
We got Baron though.
Struggling to find these big fights. Ever since that third dragon where they kind of blundered in terms of their setup, they've been trying to force these picks. They've been getting caught off on a side lane, and G2 have been using that to regain control over the game. But now they finally get a good fight, and they showcase what they can do.
See, it's exactly, it's not a new angle or anything like that. It's literally exactly the same footage. Just played back at us again.
A lot of damage, along with the Hui doing a lot of work. But now the fight from G2 kind of becomes split. They dive in onto the backline. The Poppy immediately falls. Caps and Hans can't really get involved. And I think that G2, they've got to recognize that with their comp, they have a lot of poke at their disposal. Their all-in, I would argue, is not as strong as like the Onyx, Callista, when the Gnar is there as well.
And again, it's a lot about setup, right? You have 2 order, and in that position, SK were just favored. Now they're going to move on to Soul Point again. Mountain Soul would be big, especially against Hans.
What's my opinion on an SK bot? It looked a little janky at the start of this game because of the all-in, and this is the first SK game I've seen, so I don't really have an opinion. I'll let you know when I see the rest of the SK games.
They've opened up the inhibitor.
This game was weird because of the level 1 play.
But that's the W down, clean onto Mickey. Mickey now in trouble where they just give him up. Mickey down. Yike pulled back. Good handshake. The tower there to make sure they can retreat. And already Broken Blade finding another pressure point, knowing the fight isn't really what they're after. Instead,
All right, so they get engaged on, but they get tier 2 and mid for it.
Kills, but that's 3 towers now gone in favor of G2. The Baron buff is going to wear off. It's not going to be the Baron power play that they would have liked. But in exchange for a dragon and a kill, G2's pretty happy with that.
Certainly are. And again, remember, we're at negative 1.1, 1.2k out in the back of that fight following the Baron in terms of the power play. Now we're plus 700.
I mean,
Doesn't
look at
feel
the
too
mid
bad.
itemization. But Caps is now caught up.
I mean, he was almost 3k ahead before, right?
Yeah.
So Caps has made 2k more than Niski.
And there's the large rod advantage, which is pretty much the difference between them, right? But Caps has been able to close this gap effectively. And again, we talked about it. He's crafty. Leave him on a side lane. He's a crafty
goat.
whale. Isma now with the flash.
Moving up, manages to get the spell shield off upon Tom. A very tanky, good knockback to
So that's
slow
a
the fight
flash
down.
committed from Isma. For what?
He's so keen to start the fight, and I can understand why. It's a frustrating game against G2, but really needs that to find the key targets.
I'm going to need a coach cam. I'm going to need to see Swift's reaction. Nice
Fear.
fear.
Molten Fisher. Oh, big damage on Mickey.
Yeah, really big. So Niski's showing that he's definitely not weak by any means.
I think one of the struggles, obviously, Barrier is just so strong right now. That's why Hans and Rahel are both picking it up. But now Mickey, a support who would really like to be tanky, has to build Mikhail's, which means he's really very one-tappable.
Can we talk about
It's insane damage. I mean, the way is huge this game and has insane dot DPS.
Versus Niski or Irrelevant versus Broken Blade, but the real battle
is Mickey
is in the supports. Yes, Mickey
They're
versus
tied
Luan.
4 kills. Mickey has died a number of times. But Luon 4, 1 and 9 against G2.
I'll say the handshakes compared to the Ash arrows yesterday, handshakes look
Just
good.
saying, in our league, Korean Renatas,
Very scary.
Yeah.
As a quick passport check. Ah, I see. Nope, no Renata for you, sir. Banning that one.
Not in this game. So far, a great performance from Luon. But it's SK that found themselves on the back foot. You look at the map state, it's G2 that have control over the jungle. It is SK that is being suffocated in terms of resources. Caps.
Flash back. Caps now going to be in trouble. TP burn. What are G2 going to be able to grab in the meantime?
Jesus Christ, dude.
They get the flash, but absolutely not worthwhile.
Well, they get the TP out from Irrelevant as well, and it was the earlier Baron play. I thought that they maybe could get an inhibitor, but they aren't able to convert it. And the good news for G2 is there's no objective really for SK to get off the back of that, but losing the TP could be massive because now G2 could just repeat the play they did earlier around Baron, which is you have Broken Blade push bot, you have Irrelevant match, and the second that he appears, TP to Baron, and then you force the numbers advantage, right?
Definitely could. Of course, with 30 seconds still left on the death timer, though, SK are likely to get first setup on the objective. They may have been overconfident, though. The TP now coming in behind them. Isma here, 4v3. TP now being matched. Broken Blade in the midst of the entire team, but he's only hit Isma thus far. Isma now knocked back. Niski immediately going to go for the follow-up here. Broken Blade getting...
Dude, that damage on the Cassante is pretty crazy.
Trying to back away from Hansama. Good follow-up damage coming in from Niski. Spell shield still standing for Han, so he's feeling pretty safe, but SK pushing G2 back.
TP initiation. That TP play that we were talking about earlier, now gone for Broken Blade, as he tried to force a fight in mid lane. SK weathered the pressure though, and now they're the ones moving into the jungle. We talked about how it felt like that the map state was in favor of G2, but SK are fighting their way back. It's them now trying to drop what vision they can.
They have to get aggressive here because Cap still has his TP.
They're going to be the ones to force the Baron.
Relevant clearing out what he can. There's so many good flank
it's
boards
a dark
for G2.
pit. Now it's not. Information game for
They need
G2.
to burn this down quickly. They can't afford to be indecisive.
SK can just turn on this.
Walking back to Caps. Caps just trying to root him up, just trying to flawlessly layer the CC so it can't even an ult.
No, it's not. Information game for
They need
G2.
to burn this down quickly. They can't afford to be
I mean, they just leave him out to dry. Like, Cap's CB is kind of troll here, guys. SK makes the world's easiest collapse call. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what was that TB?
Sequence of events from SK. The initiation from G2 onto the mid lane is used by SK to gain control over the topside jungle and set themselves up for the Baron. Now they still want to contest the Dragon as well. This would be Soul for them. They know they still have numbers advantage. That's still 20 seconds on Caps, who doesn't have TP.
Mickey spotted. Boop and speed steroid. Is it enough? Fear coming in, and now Irrelevant can chase. Nowhere for Mickey to go. That's going to be the Soul for SK. Yike already backing away, and right like that, SK are back in control of this game.
It was a shaky mid-game, but they've been able to punish the aggression from...
I mean, this is good from SK. Usually they couldn't close games, so this is nice to see. Especially when, I'm not really sure how they're, like, why their shot calling would get better by adding a Korean bot lane, but...
They have themselves a Baron and a Soul.
And you take a look back, but in these fights, Nara's been really tough for G2 to deal with.
I mean, Caps' presence definitely has not been felt in the same way that we're used to. Of course, I am willing to give G2 some benefit of the doubt.
It's too bad because, like, Caps' I wish we had seen Caps' shutdown play on Niski because that looked, like, really clever. Which might have been his best play this game, but instead we just kind of get him teleport inting.
They didn't need to force, but aside from that, they've been able to bounce back very well.
And they held it together well enough to punish.
Papa Smithy says he thinks EU will be close to import cap for 2025. So basically 20 out of 20 possible imports for Europe just off of Korean bot lanes. All 10 teams have 2 Korean players in the bot lane. Why do you think that? Just no European bot lane talent?
Mid lane, Irrelevant pushing in with a nice wave.
SK so close to the finish.
No, G2 doesn't have to import because they will have the pick of whoever is the best. LCK Challenger League players are very strong for low money. Fair enough.
It's the battle of poke between Hans and Niski right now. Niski's a little bit low on mana. He's going to be forced to base as the TP available. Won't be interrupted. Nice for him.
TP back to mid. Whole group, do they just want to try and end it here? Not playing off 2 lanes.
Is that why Quad's your mid laner, Papa?
Stack, waiting for the top lane wave to come in. Relevant off to the side, threatening. Yike can go for the flash knockup. But the follow-up might not be there. Broken Blade losing so much health before the fight even starts. Isma immediately going to follow up, Spiraling Despair, forcing everyone else back. Now it's on Mickey to try and disengage, but Isma's not afraid. Is going to step up. Poppy getting cut down. Now there's nothing left to stop the dashes coming through. Flash forward from Lou on the hand.
He'll be quick to point out he's not an LCKCL player. He looks down on him. Yeah, he was an NACL player. Truly the most noble profession. God damn, dude, the poke is so crazy. They don't even have a poke composition. It's just all this way. And his double burn items.
So much damage, like almost taken out, severing Bolt, not enough. The healing coming through Clutch as he burrows up, gets back to the base. Hansama and Caps holding the line, Broken Blade there to body block, but 4 members still up on the side of SK, but I don't think they can close it here.
I think they're gonna try, though they haven't given up just yet. No, they have. Okay, SK will not overstay their welcome, but G2's gonna force it.
SK has to be perfect here. They can't afford to give anything up. Isma stepping off to the side. Rahel might be the one who's going to be in trouble. Knocked back into the wall with the fear on. Broken Blade is clutch. Niski there to save his AD carry. Broken Blade is overstayed. Yike going for the 2-man flash. And now Caps wants to step in. Irrelevant getting taken out. Nobody's touching Hansama. He's doing so much work, G2. You can't do this to them. It was so close, but G2, again, they find a fight. They find nobody's touching the wall with the fear on. Broken Blade is clutch. Niski there to save his AD carry. Broken Blade is
Yeah, I got a double knock up there after flash to actually get Niski. Nice follow-up by Caps. Caps is getting scary. He's got like 4 items now.
Chasing Irrelevant. G2, what else can you get?
Isma just needs to survive. If he can clear out the wave, that would be even better. I guess they have super minions, so not too stressed about that. Scourge, just take a couple jungle camps on your way out. Oh my goodness. A TP flank from G2, the knockup from Yike, and the follow-up.
Yeah, a huge knockup from Yike there, but they can only pull off that play one time while they have flash up, so I wouldn't be too worried.
And they make a fight happen.
If I was SK. It's actually really nice because Niski doesn't really have a chance to flash right there because the E flash is too fast. Doesn't really have a chance to register it, and then he just gets stun locked.
SK can only retreat. The good news for them is in the current map state, G2 can only really wave clear. I don't think they can really convert it into much because there's no objective to play for. So SK keeping things interesting as G2 find a miracle fight.
Just gone. It really is Niski doing a lot of the heavy lifting in these team fights, and Rahel's, solid, don't get me wrong, but it's still, a Callista on.
Yeah, now you're going to be playing without down sums, though, and Niski still has this flash available. So pulling off that play again is basically impossible. They have to hope Caps can actually get back to him and get to a place where he can match flash with his ultimate, probably. Or Poppy can get to him.
The top wave to thin out these waves as much as they can. It just buys space for G2 so that there's a way for them to at least contest these neutrals. With the Baron spawning in about 12 seconds, SK want to...
Alright, TP in. Irrelevant and Caps both have TP. Okay, they're going to push it now because they can TP in while Mega's up. So they're pushing it while Mega's up. That's going to force TP from Azir, but this is pretty easy secure with Callista. All right, nope, they're going to let the spears fade. Or are they just going to let it go? Oh, my God, they're going to let it go. Now they have Mininar. Nope, never mind. Caps misses his ult. He also doesn't have Arm Guard anymore, or Zhonya's. So he uses it, then he goes in, flashes over, but Niski predicts that flash, and then they don't have any follow-up. Not being able to get back out of the way this time is devastating.
walking in, knowing the bars can do nothing. Rahel does not have to.
I mean, G2 is still a very dangerous team from behind. I'm actually surprised they were able to get back into it this much.
One inhibitor respawns, but it is not enough. SK taking their sweet time, a win well earned, a back and forth game. SK finding a win over G2 esports.
What did I say I was going to do next? Fnatic versus Carmine Corp? All right. Back on that Carmine Corpse grind, you know?
To be a big carry for this squad. We talked about Closer, who end up playing a lot of around Sunday, up for 100 Thieves. I feel like this is going to be a lot of action that Carmine Corp are going to be looking towards.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm going to go charge my fan, too. Closer. Oh, God. Yep. You know, when I think about late game shot calling, I think about closer, guys. I'm like, yeah, you know, he's going to be the player who really solves Carmine Corp's late game shot calling problems. A famously astute late game jungler.
It's not looking good for the bloodiness that we are expecting here. I just really don't want like a Cassante Renekton or something, you know. But so far it's pointing towards a little snooze fest in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of half hoping we get to see Skarner at least sometime today, just because I think.
Oh my God, he wants Skarner. What the hell, man? Champ is so broken.
And now, what is going to be the first pick? Tristana? I still
Trying to watch a couple.
Have a little attempt, you know. Well,
All right, Talia is a flex pick in the jungle right now. He's going to take Hui. Oh, man, the Hui stocks through the roof.
Now I like it because
All right, so we have the Ornn in the bot side most likely, although technically it is a flex pick.
also this that he can like
Take away the Nautilus, now we can ban ADCs, or we'll just ban Camille
well now that you can go the crack
and
Slayer
Twisted
route.
Fate.
Noah's definitely felt more comfortable on these more late game.
yeah, and definitely right now.
I take Zeri.
For Oscar, he pretty much
Has been going up in terms of win rate in solo queue, guys.
Here. He has Ivan Hui, Nautilus Zeri, you know, great core for your team, and now the ball is in his court to, you know, give us.
Senna,
This is a very
All right, so we're blinding the Jax pick here. Why did we ban Twisted Fate if we're going to play Jax? Wouldn't we want them to play that? Because now they just get a Poppy counter pick. If we're going to play Jax, why wouldn't we just ban Poppy? So you didn't bait them into picking the counter picks for Jax, but you did allow them to R5 Poppy, which is a Jax counter pick. What the fuck are we doing? Why would we do this?
very good matchup for the Poppy. Jax is not happy here, and honestly, Poppy is a great pick here into Rek'Sai and into Jax. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on the Ornn to.
It's like a free fucking game for Poppy. Also, Poppy can stop Ornn from ulting, because remember, Ornn's dash on R2 is what causes him to redirect the Ornn ult.
hard for Carmine Corp to really break this.
Poppy's like a mega pick here.
Every champion apart from the Talia, well, even the Talia ult has some sort of dash. Senna not so much, but it's going to be an awful lot you can stop. You got great opportunities to set up shields for the Zeri so she can continue forward, not having the Lulu. Across the board, Fnatic have a great composition here.
And I gotta know, Odo, we talk about the compositions overall. Who are you favoring?
In this game, you have a very, very small window, you know, pre-level 3, pre-level 4, when you need to leverage as much as you can to get an early lead with wave state and CS denial or XP.
Ice Shadow, thank you for your tier 1 gift sub. I appreciate you.
So I don't know. Let's see how well he can coordinate with the Rek'Sai to make some magic happen in the top lane, because the stacks are the odds are stacked against him.
Might be tough. Tough debut on stage. We'll see if KC can find that power on some of their side lanes. Some OBGG call out.
I wonder if he's bronze.
Ooh, I like burning sign. The KC fans come in, still to be heard, still here in the studio, showing their support. And again, level 1, we're gonna be looking everywhere. But the early game, it's gonna be about top lane. Odo, first couple levels, what do you...
Grass Poppy into Jax, so fun.
Brox, break it down for us.
Yeah, so pretty much in the early level, Jax pretty much has a cheat code with his E button. Poppy cooldowns are way too high in the early game to leverage that against the Jax. He's gonna get prio for the first 3 waves. He has the choice of crashing on either on wave 2, 3, or 4, depending on also on what Rek'Sai wants to do, and also Ivan's jungle pathing. So right now he's assuming this very forward position because he wants to walk out when the wave comes and either catch the Poppy, you know, walking up from behind her, or just dragging the wave to stack up the grass. So because it will give a lot more prio and pressure. Like, let's look, yeah.
And in an ideal world, are you yelling at your jungler, hey, look, I want to crash 4th wave so then I can get a better back? Or what is exactly that you would love to see Rek'Sai do to enable this Jackson?
Well, the thing about Jax is that he's quite independent. It's more up to the jungler to choose what the jungler wants to do. Like right now, I feel like the Jax made a little bit of a mistake because he's actually didn't get prio level 1, because I think that
He took both parts of the queue.
Into the minion wave with his E. So right now, it's the jungler
Better back, or
prio and pressure. Like, let's look.
So let's watch and see what happens right here. Because he also takes both parts of the Poppy Q. There's proc 1. There's proc 2. And then he also takes some damage from the minion wave. But I think it's mostly he just takes both Q procs from Poppy.
It's more up to the jungler to choose what the jungler wants to do. Like right now, I feel like the Jax made a little bit of a mistake because he actually didn't get prio level 1 because I think that he just didn't walk into the minion wave with his E. So right now, it's already a little bit of an anomaly from the.
Oh, he's saying because he didn't get the damage from the E. All right, Madao, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. I appreciate you.
Right now, Poppy, you're not supposed to get prio early game, so I'm already off script here. I think Oscar is doing a great job, you know, getting trades early and everything. And right now, making the matchup volatile like this is definitely not good for Jax. It's favoring Oscar quite heavily.
Jump in, but trading into the creep wave, going to start taking damage from casters.
The thing too is you get those because Buckler's on hit, you get the grass procs off it too, which is very nice.
The laning phase with Poppy, with your
basically, it just gives you free grass procs every time Buckler comes back up.
There's 0 mana. You can
Just
use
now.
it whenever you want to thin out the wave, and right now is it's not looking good for Jax because right now he's dodging the windows where he's actually stronger than the Poppy in the matchup, and it's only gonna get worse for him.
What are you doing now if you're in the Series of Kana? I mean, right now you're just catching a wave, right? There's not a lot.
It's fun to hear from Odoamne, though.
That is very important here is you need to catch the next wave before it crashes into the tower because right now, let's see if he does it. Okay, so the problem here is that this wave crashed, and now Oscar is basing, and he's probably gonna base and lose only 1 melee minion. So this is best case scenario for the Poppy, because right now, if you would have dragged the wave before and tanked it in front of the tower, the Poppy would have lost all 3 minions here.
For now, though, you talked about it. That 1 minion's still alive,
yeah,
Odo.
And it's probably gonna get it. At least the XP, but even if it doesn't get this one, then it's essentially a free base. You barely lost any XP. Yeah, he didn't even lose the XP on that one, but.
Kana, brief window where he's level 4, wants to at least trade up a little bit. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, very positive trade is Vlad.
Wow.
Taken super low there, you can see in the picture-in-picture, and Oscar now interrupting the dash in.
So what Oscar
He's level 4, wants to at least trade up a little bit. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, very positive trade is Vladdy, taken super low there, you can see in the picture-in-picture, and Oscar now interrupting the dash in.
So what Oscar wants to do here is very, very important. He wants to trade as aggressively as possible to make this freeze in front of the tower, because the junglers are matched here, and now the problem is that Rek'Sai. Oh well. This is a little bit aggressive, but I think it's a little bit of a overstick.
So he ease out.
It's okay because both junglers are playing.
Here's Ivern.
Over here. We're gonna see a skirmish here, but this one is favoring Oscar because.
Nice flash. Wow, nice flash from Glozer. Double knockup.
But it's okay because both junglers are playing to their win conditions over here. We're gonna see a skirmish here, but this one is favoring Oscar because.
Flash in, the knockup, Closer gets 1. Now Kana looking for the follow-up. Razork has to start running.
Oscar didn't flash that.
To their win conditions over here. We're gonna see a skirmish here, but this one is favoring Oscar because.
Flash in, the knockup, Closer gets 1. Now Kana looking for the follow-up. Razork has to
They did have a picture-in-picture there, so maybe they had an obs for this one. Well, they might have 2 obs, but they might need to. They used to have 3 guys. So maybe they have 2 obs, but they don't have an obs that can go back and like pull a different angle for the replay. It's pretty huge. Get double buffs for Kana too.
Should be able to get out for now, but that's the tunnel in, waiting for the knockup. The stun now comes through as well. Kana grabbing a kill on the top side of the map.
Oh, it's a disaster! It had all gone so well for Oscar, and Odo had highlighted that he'd already gotten this massive lead, but now 2 kills going across the Carmine Corp, and you get the reset here for Kana.
Yeah, this went horrible. Like Oscar just overreached a little bit to the wave. The wave was in such a good position. It pretty much gave K-Corp the only win condition they have, and props to Closer, you know, because he knows that he needs to stay here until this wave is crashed. But now there's a Jax with an amazing base, Sheen, Ruby Crystal, double buffs, wave about to bounce back. This is just nightmare scenario for the Poppy.
And this is what I was hoping Closer would bring to the table. We looked at him on 100 Thieves and he was playing around Sunday so often. This was kind of what their bread and butter on 100 Thieves were over in the LCS, but the last split wasn't the best at times for him. He couldn't really have the impact that he wanted to early game, but now in Carmine Corp, getting a massive win for Kana in this top side as he immediately leaves the game.
He was
my job is done.
But 6 break point. Is there any point now in like really trying to leverage resources to shut the Jacks down? Like if you're in this game and you're Oscar, what are you calling for? Are you like support me top, let's shut the Jacks down, or you're like just play bot, there's no point coming top?
Well, see, the thing is, your pairing is Ivan and Poppy, so there's not a lot of threat on the Jacks.
What was the name of the coffee bean subscription? Were they a sponsor? No, they were not, but I was. It's trade, drinktrade.com. I was just recommending them because I liked it. I'd be down if they wanted to sponsor us, though.
Progress and get the solo tower or get the solo kill in that sense. She's gonna be okay. It's more of a question of, is Rek'Sai gonna keep looking at this Poppy on the bounce backs? Because right now it's looking okay for Oscar, but he's getting chunked slowly, and at one point this wave will push back, and that's the time where he really needs to coordinate that wave bounce to when Ivan is topside.
Yeah, especially when there's a lot of members up here.
How do I brew my coffee in a drip brewer?
Whatever the hell they are. My brain's gone. Thank you.
I have a Bonavita one in the States. I have a Tefl one here. My Bonavita one in the States is very nice. But I'm not using a great one in Korea because I'm not going to be here forever.
Shift that focus down to the bottom lane. Noah trying to kick things off. Already exhausted. Targamas holding on. Knockup will hit onto Noah, but Noah, of course, stopped attacking. Doesn't need to take tower aggro here. Razor kicking things off again. Flawless dive. Noah trying to kick things.
The blue buff making it very tough then for Oscar to really deal anything, but it does mean that Ornn is now on his own in the bot side, and they want to look for the dive.
Shift that focus down to the bottom lane. Noah trying to kick things off. Already exhausted. Targamas holding on. Knockup will hit onto Noah, but Noah, of course, stopped attacking. Doesn't need to take tower aggro here. Razor kicking things off again. Flawless
Nice juggle by Fnatic.
From Fnatic. They can't go top anymore, but bot certainly looking like green pastures.
Yeah, a bit of pressure on towards the top side from KC. They can see they moved Oscar in and away, but absolutely brilliant from Fnatic to get that play on the bottom side and respond so well.
And Odo, we're about to say goodbye to you. We'll focus up again on the entire map, kind of the entire context of this one. Thank you so much for.
You always hate drip coffee. Well, I mean, I would.
What is your prediction?
If you really want to get the most out of it, pour over is probably the best. But
I still think Fnatic wins, even though Jax got.
I'm tired of the morning. I just want some fucking coffee and like a nice, a Bonavita or a Mocha Master, or like one of the nice drip coffee machines are very good. So it's fine. It's not quite as good as pour over, but
Topside focus on the map. Honestly,
it is what it is. It's faster. It's easier.
Nervous people out there in the world about how dominant Kana was going to be, expected to be a favorite. Targamas talked about it as being this big, massive, devastating force on the top side of the map. And while the Jaxes looked okay, it's actually the support of Closer, I think, that saved the laning phase from maybe.
It's fast. It's fun. That's right. Hot shot. GG references from 12 years ago.
It has the flash available. We'll need to try and get away from this.
Ma is there. Upset.
Rip Dominion.
Walking in, nice route to come through. Really, at this point of the game, we take stock of the rest of the map, right? We were very focused on the top side, 400, 500 gold lead, both in top and jungle. But meanwhile, on the bottom side,
Maybe if I was Carmine Corp, I wouldn't give Targamas, the guy who famously doesn't talk and has been playing really badly, an engaged champ and farm him. Because it feels like he's just going to be super disconnected from the rest of his team. So maybe Senna farming Ornn is not the strat for Carmine Corp.
Yeah, I think the fact that Poppy's going to be able to kind of stand there and just go, hey, look, yes, you will be a problem eventually, but I can clear out waves. You're not really going to be able to.
I only drink black coffee. 0-calorie coffee, the dream. Don't drink calories. That's how you get fat. Drink sparkling water and black coffee like Monty.
Blast open this game. Maybe they can use Kana's pressure to look for more void grubs, try and get to 6, look for a rip channel.
Don't drink a bunch of sugar and dairy.
Fnatic keep their bot side in check. They're in a good spot.
Fnatic have kept that bot lane shut down. Upset obviously roaming a lot, maybe trying to get more early souls. 40 already at this point of the game, I think ahead of the clock compared to what we saw previously. Targamas is going to build himself an item, but just really hard to approach all those Ivan brushes. I can't even see the Dragon health bar because the Daisy health bar is right there. Unstoppable is Targamas immediate all coming out from Noah. Nice ultimate from Upset for a bit of extra shielding, and here comes the Ram! Now the damage, the follow-up there. Noah in trouble as Closer starting to chase for the kill. One more Void Seeker. Upset.
But whiskey though, yeah, that's where you get your calories. Drink your alcohol calories. Don't drink soda. Don't drink a sweet coffee drink. Drink whiskey. Drink wine.
Ivan brushes. I can't even see the Dragon health bar because the Daisy health bar is right there. Unstoppable is Targamas immediate all coming out from Noah. Nice ultimate from Upset for a bit of extra shielding. And here comes the Ram. Now the damage, the follow up there. Noah in trouble as Closer starting to chase for the kill. One more Void Seeker. Upset grabbing another. KC finding the fight in the pit.
Nice job. Honestly, Vladdy has some good Talia combos in here.
The health bar is right there. Unstoppable is Targamas immediate all coming out from Targamas is going to build himself an item, but just really hard to approach all those Ivan brushes. I can't even see the Dragon health bar because the Daisy health bar is right there. Unstoppable is Targamas immediate all coming out from Noah. Nice ultimate from Upset.
I mean, they do look better. Carmine Corp.
Now the damage, the follow up there. Noah in trouble as Closer starting to chase for the kill. One more Void Seeker. Previously.
I mean, this was a much better, more coordinated fight than we've typically seen from them.
All those Ivan brushes. I can't even see the Dragon health bar because the Daisy health bar.
You know, they have a 4 versus 4 here. And Closer actually has a good flank angle. Targamas escapes, able to follow up with an Ornald.
The damage, the follow up there. Noah in trouble as Closer starting to chase for the kill. One more Void Seeker. Upset grabbing another. KC finding the fight in the pit. The flick back onto Razork is good. Fnatic.
Nice job by Vladdy.
But they lose just about
Oh, that was pretty well played.
KC set that up so well. I was a little concerned when I saw Vladdy use
Also getting a lot of plates in the top side.
His team on the bottom side of the map, but they so much engaged, so much damage with Vladdy and this Talia that they were able to just continue through the fight so well. The extra little bit of damage from the Rek'Sai doing so much work in these fights.
I mean, they're just powerful. The confidence in the engage here, and it looks a little dicey at first, but Targamas unstoppable, managing to get out is big.
Yeah, and the fact you're getting the Sen ult across multiple members here is great. Brilliant engage from Closer on towards Jun. And Noah has to be the main source of damage here. Humanoid hasn't really hit his stride yet. He's still waiting for those items. So the fact that Noah isn't in really a position to do much in the way of damage in this fight is great. And then Vladdy, great follow-up as well across the course of this fight, making sure that he's able to keep everyone in check.
You can see smiles, you can see the high fives coming through.
Seiken would never go for those plays. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he looks a lot better in team fights than Seiken ever did. I've seen exactly 10 minutes of this guy play, and he's already a bazillion times better.
Essentially nothing. They've got actually nothing. And remember that the only way to get through...
I mean, literally a bot that could put Sand Soldiers in choke points would be better than Seiken.
Top 3 in summer. In season finals, Worlds is really the goal for this KC lineup, this KC organization that has had such a disastrous year so far.
And beating a Fnatic would be...
Why is that the goal for KC? They're not even spending money on their roster, guys. They're not even spending any money on their roster. Their roster is fucking dirt cheap.
On that path to try and make it towards that top 3. Still a long way from it. They have a very...
Kana literally didn't have a team in Korea.
But that was a bit of a different roster. And now with Closer already getting in onto Jun, they want to try and push this advantage.
Pushing in. Want to step forward for more. The TP now coming in. Upset's been completely isolated from the fight, but it might not matter. Vladdy backing up. Disengage coming through. Targamas now going to be in trouble. Oscar in the midst of 2. A clean knockup on the Closer. And now it's Noah who's on the hunt. Knockup from Closer. Not enough to stop the fight from coming in. Good flick back from Vladdy. Oscar getting lower and lower. Forced to flash away. Knockup on the Closer. Want to step forward for more. The TP now coming in. Upset's been completely isolated.
So we're walking in here. Kana doesn't feel like TPing in. So we just get a 5 versus 4 for a double knockup. What the fuck is Kana doing? What is Kana doing? He literally sees him TPing in, and he's got no ward to TP on. I mean, he could TP here. So we just walk in for no reason. Kana's farming in bot. What the fuck is he doing? Well, guess he doesn't speak English yet, just like Targamas, so. Like, why are we walking in? Like, is the purpose to bait the TP? In which case, why don't we just leave? I don't know what the plan was supposed to be there. It's okay. They'll get tier 1 in bot. It's fine. It's fine. Good. Good trade, right, guys? Is Degon going to be on the LCK desk all summer? Fun edition? What are you talking about? Jordan. Did I not see an announcement?
And there's just not really the follow-up. You can see as we start to move in here. Closer goes on
Was
to
there an
do good
announcement?
damage, and you can start to look towards the spike. And this could be great positioning for an ultimate from Targamas, but doesn't quite have it. Then goes in for the headbutt, but doesn't actually hit anyone in Fnatic. And Fnatic then able to chase down these members with Oscar in and having that teleport.
Just announced on Twitter. Yes, he is hosting the analyst desk of LCK, or the space. He's hosting the space. I guess it was announced, guys, so I could talk about it. He's moving to Korea. He's going to be here tomorrow. We're going to do Power Spike tomorrow night, and like right after he gets off the plane, so he'll be really fucking tired.
Good punish on the back half of the fight, but Fnatic, this is a team you can't.
I'm very happy for him.
Yes, I think the most recent memory for many international fans is a pretty tragic.
Bro didn't know nothing 1 minute ago. Yeah, that's right. I see. Here's the thing, guys. Once the announcement happened, all of the knowledge immediately was just beamed into my brain.
But remember, domestically, this Fnatic team has been.
I didn't know anything before 1 minute ago, and I saw the Twitter announcement.
Redemption, you know, from their most recent performances, I think KC still have a lot more to prove, and Fnatic reminding us that domestically, at least, they are not.
What's funny is like this has been like supposed to happen for like months, but his visa from the Korean government took so long. Like he was supposed to be here like months ago. So he finally got his visa. All the other talents still there too? Yep. Remember how they used to have Lore hosting the space? You know, when she was out here, and they've been rotating like some of the play-by-plays, like sometimes it's Atlas or, you know, Valdez, those guys who are hosting the space. I think they just wanted a more permanent space host.
Ulti coming in, Raz are going to be in trouble. That's one very squishy Ivern. They don't quite have the ball damage to finish, but Closer does. Chun now in trouble as well. Fnatic getting picked apart. They get one kill back on the upset, but that's all they're going to walk away with.
They overextend in the river as Fnatic. They're trying to get the vision down. But
Space host, ghost to ghost. That's right. Technically, he is the space host coast to coast because he went from the west coast of America to the coast of Korea. Do you know why they didn't keep Lore? No. If I had to guess, guys, I don't know. If I had to guess, it's probably because Riot didn't want her splitting her time between LEC and LCK.
Walk away with. Be in trouble. That's one.
Kind of reminding KC as to why they are so vicious as they can play off these small timers.
All right, so we have a minute. We have a minute until we have. What the fuck? We have a minute until we fight Drake, and we're just in river, just like fighting over a crab. All right. Great.
Overextend in the river as Fnatic. They're trying to get the vision down, but Closer's doing a great job of finding these moments to work with the team, find the picks that they want to, and Targamas now having that ult available, able to follow up brilliantly. So nicely done by KC. Closer definitely leading the charge on a lot of these plays.
And Closer again. When you look at this guy,
no, I really don't know, guys. The thing about it is that Riot's very predictable because they're just shitty. So you just think about the shittiest thing Riot could do, and that's always the answer. It's always the answer, guys. If something seems weird, just think about the shittiest thing they could do to a caster, and that is always the answer of what actually happened. So obviously, Lore really was excited about LCK because she loves Korean League of Legends. I don't think she suddenly decided that she didn't want to spend like a month or two in Korea every year, like didn't want to do that anymore. I don't think she did that.
Those fights in and around objectives, and it's giving Karmine Corp this kind of voice that they needed, and it was something that
I think what happened is Riot gave her an ultimatum.
Tons of clips of him in team fights, target selection, micromanaging people.
Especially because Shox is, you know, at CS events sometimes.
Like what was missing on Karmine Corp over the last few months.
Freeze the carries up, right, to focus on doing the damage, on keeping themselves safe, so he can take that role. For now, it's looking good. Again, I don't want to oversell it. It's positive early signs for KC. Certainly, early game was you know, one of the better points of this team when we look back at two pretty tragic splits. So we'll need to see what it looks like as we get to the mid game, as we get later on. But so far, the coordination already much better than what we saw in winter and spring. That said, Fnatic are only going to get scarier. That's an Ivern. They've got a Poppy to tank in the fights. Way is going to get scarier, and we know what Noah can do on 3 items on the Zeri. Yes, the build is slightly different. Static Shiv a little bit different, but ultimately, the damage output as we get later in the game, very much the same.
Yeah, and I think that's where you're going to be looking to see if KC can try and play through these side lanes. Already getting that top tower down helps out nice. You can see Vladdy making sure to really push that wave in to get control of the map there. But you kind of need Kana to open up on this bottom side as well. Rift Tower is going to help in making sure they can put pressure on towards mid tower. But if you don't get these towers down, it feels like that fallback plan of the 5-man.
Captain Flyers producing some YouTube comment. You think the casters got the memo that Riot is itching to replace them? I mean, yeah, everybody has started making content like 10 years too late, right? But they clearly know that the writing's on the wall and they have no leverage.
And Kana, of course, earlier on got bailed out of.
I mean, they should have known this 10 years ago.
Levels, as we talked to Odo about.
But
then those kills
what can you do?
Assists coming through on that fight around Casey's blue buff, really keeping Oscar at least up in terms of pace, allowing him to match in terms of itemization for Kana. Yes, he's not going to out.
Heading to Korea for a month. Any advice on the weather? It's going to be hot as fuck, man.
A long way for Fnatic.
I'm in Incheon, so I'm by the ocean, so luckily it's not as hot as fuck out here, but if you're going to be here in the middle of summer, I pity you. It is going to be really hot.
Is huge. So denying or gaining any passive vision by breaking down the mid lane tier 1 tower is big for the team.
It's also because it forces Noah and Jun to play very defensive on this mid wave. Traditionally, you'd see the AD carry step up, especially if they have Static Shiv, and try and very quickly clear out these waves. But because of the threat Targamas has with this ult, the follow-up from Closer, the burst damage, you have to play very far back or bring multiple members like Fnatic have at the moment. So it opens up.
So we're just going to counter push with Daisy right now.
Play 4 sides, which is exactly what they want. But Fnatic doing a good job here of responding.
And demolish, and it's gone. He needs to branch out to other areas as well. Look, man, I can't help the other casters. You can't. You can lead a horse to water. You know what I mean? Like most of them never made their own content. They just sat there, not co-streaming, watching Cadril just eat their fucking lunch, literally not making content, working like 2 days a week. The amount of laziness and wasted time from the LCS and LEC casters is fucking absurd.
It was often Humanoid who was kind of rallying the team on a side lane, keeping push,
literally never develop any other skills besides casting in your life. Don't get any experience. Don't start your own businesses. Don't try and do anything else. It's wild.
Predicting this though, responding with a full stack almost on this bottom half of the map, and as long as you don't overextend, Humanoid is going to be fine to just continue to clear out this wave. Here comes Casey's play though.
Humanoid isolated, has to flash away from the flip.
And then when Riot with their Monopoly comes in and just kills you like they did Dash, you just surprise Pikachu face. You got nothing else to fall back on. Life sucks.
Here comes Casey's play though.
Humanoid isolated, has to flash away from the flip back, but does manage to get away. It's Shadow, but now the hook onto Vladdy. Vladdy in trouble, forced to flash back the Ram to try to disengage. Target needs to get the hell out. Jun ready to re-engage at a moment's notice.
Mark worked his way out to be commissioner. Yep. He saw it. He saw the writing was on the wall. And now he's just the difference is instead of casting the game of League of Legends now, he just repeats whatever anyone at Riot tells him to repeat, even if it's bullshit nonsense like it is 90% of the time. He's not even a commissioner, guys. He's literally just a mouthpiece. He doesn't have any decision-making power. He doesn't have any employees. He has no employees under him as far as I'm aware. They just wheel him out in front of the cameras.
Keeping pressure up and making sure they can continue to stack these objectives.
An interesting choice from Kana coming in. Has gone for the Seekers. Will allow him to play incredibly psycho in the fights, right? You can find that flank. You can wait for all.
But it's okay, guys. Like Mark Z said, you know, 2024 was dedicated to listening to the fans, to being fan-focused, because every other year of the LCS was not about being fan-focused. It's a sports entertainment product that was never fan-focused before the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah, I do think, though, if if you go golden and you don't win the fight, it doesn't matter, you're dead. Like, you don't get a second chance here. This is, as you say, a go-in button to keep you alive in the hopes that the team will follow up. But realistically, you've already got that engage from Targamas, so I'm curious to see how Kana ends up feeling out these fights.
It's not a, you know, and look, like Jack scales with just about everything in the game, so the AP won't feel bad, don't get me wrong. But stopwatch would have been much nicer. Spending 1,600 gold on this active is a big cost, and so if it doesn't work, if you jump in, you go gold, and then you die anyway.
Is he running Jack of all trades?
Ooh.
I actually don't know. I don't have access to it, so maybe a producer could tell me, but maybe that's why he wants to get the AP for that.
We can check in with our observers, get the information. Obviously gets a ton of stats from Trinity Force. Remember, Jack of all
That's
trades,
true. Jack of all trades, the new rune,
more value it's going to give you.
does provide a lot of value.
Trinity Force already giving
But
you
also, you know,
itself,
here's the thing, guys.
as well as armor.
You know, as a form of primary engage for Jax and as a point of survivability, you know, it's not unusual for Jax to get Zhonya's, just usually not second item, right?
Now KC grouping here, 5 members strong, might be gearing up for the full front to back, but it's Oscar who's on the flank. Both sides happy to just poke at each other. Kana now locking up Oscar. Oscar flick back. He's tanky, but is he tanky enough? But they're all into the choke. Humanoid is doing so much work. Noah immediately going to go for the ultimate. The knockup now coming through for the poke at each other. Kana now locking up Oscar. Oscar flick back. He's tanky, but is he...
I mean, they're just in a choke point with Daisy.
Noah immediately going to go for the ultimate. The knockup now coming through for the disengage on Targamas. Kana now locking up Oscar.
And they're just going on to Oscarinin, who's just going to get tankier and actually does use his ult right there to get a knockup. And it was a pointless arm guard in the end.
That was so good from Fnatic. Carmine Corp trying to get in position.
2025 and league changes forever. Yeah, look, man, if they announce League 2, that'd be hype as fuck.
Just not the play. Fnatic sniff it out. And now they want to go towards Bar.
And we wanted to know if it was going to feel good. Kana not running.
I'm probably done with League after this year, guys. I think this is my last rodeo with League is this Worlds.
So, going to feel a little bit difficult. Baron getting lower and lower. Again, Fnatic starting through this objective pretty damn quickly. The question is, KC, what can they do to stop this? Jun not afraid to frontline. Has Celestial opposition. Could eat damage for so long. 4K, it's getting lower. Closer on the way.
Did I miss the KC MDK analysis? Oh no, that's coming next.
Jun taken out. Baron taken down. KC, do they want to keep following? 2 souls to upset. The only consolation prize alongside the kill gold onto Jun, but Fnatic. Red Bull Baron.
League is over.
See what they can do with it.
Oh, I don't think League will be over.
Maybe we might get a smite.
Yeah, just drop that so casually. I don't know yet, guys. I'm just thinking about stuff. Like basically the business side of LFN needs my attention, which is it's a good problem to have. But me doing League content, you know,
On the side of Fnatic, Ocean Soul again, very impactful.
I'm not gonna like quit doing content with LFN or quit LFN. I just need to focus on different parts of LFN.
Without Vladdy in the picture. Death Cap and the Seraphs for Vladdy. He's going to start to hurt, but Humanoid already 2.5 items in, already working on Magic Pen. And again, if they keep maneuvering into these chokes, like the problem is both sides.
Like I want to do 4 Horsemen, still want to do the culture stuff, but Elephant is going to have problems expanding if I can't focus more time on growth stuff, basically. Because like guys, I can't watch 40 hours of VODs a week of League of Legends and like expand the business, if you know what I mean. Oh no, I won't transition entirely into the CEO role. Like I'm still going to be on a bunch of podcasts. Just like League ones might be tough for me to do because I just won't. It is so much time to watch all the games from all the regions, guys. So sacrifice power spike but stay in SI. I mean that's the thing is like, you know, doing 1 podcast is basically as hard as doing 3 podcasts because the research is basically the same. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you know, I will also like 4 Horsemen. I'm still very passionate about like, you know, the culture. I mean, the culture channel is our fastest growing channel at LFN. So like, I think if we did more on that channel, it would grow even faster. I have ideas. I just don't have time to do them right now. And the question is like, if I can replace myself on some of these shows, right? Isn't that better as long as our viewership doesn't tank?
then just having Fnatic coming roaring from behind to take the game fully by the horns.
How disgusted I've been with LEC so far. It's pretty bad. It's been real boring.
Good angle with Vladdy there as well. They can do a lot of work, but again,
Crepo.
on the Senna, gonna need a few more
I thought your team played pretty well overall, though, Crepo. That G2 game, that was cleaner in the late game. Crepo, how is the new bot lane doing?
Tough thing for KC as well is even if you get
You ruined my night here. Look,
you can't kill Noah if you can't.
we got lots of time left. It's not definitely going to happen, guys. I'm just thinking about what's best for LFN.
Down, Vladdy using the wall to get involved as Kana stands off to the side. It just feels like Fnatic are taking whatever they want. KC don't quite feel confident enough to pull the trigger. Don't think that this is their time to force a fight, but they're losing 2 inhibitors effectively for nothing this second one.
I mean, how do you engage?
Very humble, very hardworking, and they can click. Your late game shot calling looked better in that game than it had in a lot of the games that I saw last split.
Bouncer for the entirety of KC, denying them access into the vulnerable backline, so they're just able to walk up and do whatever the hell they want. It's just really good play from Fnatic, understanding the strengths of their composition.
TP.
Kana, though,
Desperate to force, Dawning Shadow to try to interrupt. Jun and Razork both going to get knocked out, but that's the start of the fight. Kana, flick back is good onto Humanoid. Good start. Kana needs to get involved in the fight.
Nice pick right there.
Kana, though,
Desperate to force, Dawning Shadow to try to interrupt. Jun and Razork both going to get knocked out, but that's
Nice combo onto closer here.
Kana, flick back is good onto Humanoid. Good start. Kana needs to get involved in the fight. The Jack's still coming in, but they just immediately kill closer. KC.
Trying to make a play here with a TP.
able to walk up and do whatever the hell they want. It's just really good play from Fnatic, understanding the strengths of their composition.
TP.
Kana, though,
Desperate to force, Dawning Shadow to try to interrupt. Jun and Razork both going to get knocked.
But there's no follow-up on the actual Ornn ult, and they're able to turn this around.
Get involved in the fight. The Jack's still coming in, but they just immediately kill closer. KC, the call was made, but the pieces were scattered. Not everyone was in position. Fnatic happy to have the gimme, the free kill, the free team.
Would you considering hire people to help on the business side? I feel Monty the personality is more irreplaceable than Monty the businessman. I'm not going away in terms of all the content, guys. We'll find out, I guess.
that was just not fair. KC tried desperately to see if they could.
You know, it just depends on the scaling of our other shows and everything like that.
Great ultimate from Oscar Rinnan, and the immediate turnaround means that KC just don't get to do it.
And no, the problem is that I'm really the only one who can run the business side of things.
Versus, Zeri Gold.
Because I'm probably the only human being on Earth right now who knows both esports and knows how to run a podcast business. Because I had to learn that the second one over the past couple years from a guy who used to be at Barstool and stuff like that. So, and practice, trial and error.
And was just going to be a nightmare to deal with, especially when Noah hasn't.
No. I'm not going away, and I'm still going to be doing on-camera stuff. It just may not be directly League of Legends analysis anymore, guys.
He's going to be able to hit multiple people consistently with the way Fnatic's team fight is set up.
Bye forever, I guess. Jesus Christ. Do you guys do nothing else?
So far away as well, like Carmen Corp are going to try and stand underneath this tower, but
Besides, I'm going to be here for the next 6 months at least.
KC do what they can to hold the line. Again, difficult when the flick back doesn't connect. Spiraling to fair use just to get a bit of poke onto Targamas, losing almost his entire health bar. KC fans.
So no, it's not like a done thing yet, guys. I'm just thinking about it. Depends on how much other work I have to do for LFN. That's all.
Positive early indicators. Fnatic are now choking them out of this game. Wall. Good start. Ornn ultimate. Oscar gets the disengage. Ornn denied from the ball, but Jun getting lower and lower. And Oscar, again, we talked about Oscar versus Kana. Oscar has been everywhere. 2, 1, and 3 is involved in these plays. He's disengaging left.
Thank you, Anslan, for your tier 1 sub.
Waiting for that involvement. And yeah, you know what?
Will you and Thorn ever continue with your Hall of Fame? It only has Mad Life in it. We should, now that esports awards are tainted
The relative impact
and the Hall of Legends is tainted.
there's very little that Kana can do from this position, and I mean, we heard Odo talk about what he was still here. This Poppy pick was great. May not have been what we wanted from a pure fist fight perspective, but in a game of chess where you can position Oscar in to deny Kana entry, end up sending a lot of members back from KC as Targamas goes to the engage, it was a perfect pick. And Fnatic really setting themselves up fantastically coming through from draft, and now they get to bear the fruit of that labor as KC going to try and contest Baron, but I don't feel like they're in a great position to do so.
Ornn ultimate not too long of a kill cooldown at this point in the game. A lot of cooldown reduction. Upside gonna get slowed up a bit by this. Wait, you flash in.
You know, one of the things that we've been really wanting to expand into with LFN is just general gaming content, right? And we just can't do general gaming content, you know, unless I do it, and I need more time to do it. Like, I would love to be able to do more, like, video essays on general gaming and general gaming reviews and stuff like that. But I just can't do it right now because I don't have time because I have to spend all my time watching League of Legends.
Push there. Targamas, though, caught in a bit of a tough spot. Hook going to go a little bit wide from Jun. Objective already started. Noah moving back and forth. Not sure if they want to keep the fight. Oscar getting lower and lower. Targamas has to be careful not to get caught out. Uses the unstoppable and closer waiting over the wall. Clearly ready to try to force the steal. Or an ultimate going to get used. Knock up on a 3 is good, but again, there's no immediate follow. Vladdy Lang lower. Targamas has to be careful not to get caught out. Uses the unstoppable and closer waiting over the wall. Clearly ready to
Pretty early Senna ult, honestly.
Ultimate going to get used. Knock up on a 3 is good, but again, there's no immediate follow. Vladdy Lang down as much damage as he can, but the front line is just
Vladdy's playing this game pretty well, I think.
Kana dropped. Oscar on a killing spree. Vladdy doing what he can, but it does not matter. Razork, the shields coming in left and right. Noah started.
Coordination's still really off on Karmine Corp, though.
Useless in the exchange. Closer retreating. Upset retreating. Fnatic again finding the angles. The matter. Razork, but the front line is just too damn strong. Razork will not let any of his tanks fall. Kana dropped. Oscar on a killing spree.
Without watching League VODs, you could still be an analyst for Riot. Yeah, that's the joke. If I just watch Western teams, I could cast the World Championship. I could cast the finals of MSI. All I have to do is only watch LEC and LCS.
Vladdy doing what he can, but it does not matter. Push there.
I was watching this fight again. Like they get some damage down on Oscar in him, but he is just so tanky. Yeah, there's just patience there. He actually just slams him straight into the wall. So they're trying to just take care of Kana and fight the front to back. Wow, Ivern is so crazy in that fight, actually.
Absolutely useless in the exchange. Closer retreating. Upset retreating. Fnatic again finding the angles. The TP's come out on the bottom side. It looks like they're ready to end it here.
Fnatic are done. Karmine Corp are done. And Fnatic with a confidence team fight.
But yeah, I mean, I want to do general gaming content. I want to do more culture content. I want to do cooking content. You know, I got a lot of stuff I want to do, and I need to spend more time managing the LFN business. You guys, in a week, we're going to announce a new sponsor, guys, and you guys are going to be fucking pogging. Holy moly. Typhus 5, thank you for the 20 gift subs. That is crazy.
But we don't worry about that. At the end of the day, he was magnificent across the course of this game.
He was, and overall.
Love the Doom video. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the Jax really didn't do anything. Didn't apply split push pressure. Didn't TP to fights, weirdly. It's all right. They're still a new roster with a guy who doesn't really speak English, so what can you do? Where's the other KC game? There it is. All right, I've heard this one is a real horror show, so last game of the day. Shout out to all you raccoons out there.
It's usually a banger, Dracos.
It's always
That Jax was more useless than Targamas' mic. Does LFN generate more net profit than streaming right now? Yes. I mean, for me, not for Cajal, probably. And we have a lot of sponsors now. Manscaped. We already have a Manscaped sponsor, Peter Phobian. We already have that. Ansland, thank you for the tier 1 sub to that Latvian guy, my mod. Appreciate it. You guys are so generous. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, I mean, I like doing the League of Legends analysis. I like streaming. But there's other stuff I want to stream. And there's other business stuff I have to do, and I want to do some other kinds of culture content.
See who can get it in the best of 3 regular season. I'm just about to take it 1 game at a time.
Or to get some general game streams eventually. So I think, not to hype up the cooking streams too much, I think there is going to be a way where I can kind of seamlessly move between cooking streams and regular streams.
Ivern band coming out. That champion has looked very powerful.
The question is, will we see any further AD carry bans? Senna being taken away by Mad Lions, yesterday.
But we will see.
Gonna be taken off so far as Ash. We haven't seen any Caitlyn. I was told she was on the beach. She did get a bit of an adjustment.
Were you told by Rob?
Was I? No. That's it picked from Carmen Cole. I think Vladdy had a pretty strong performance on it yesterday.
All right. So, I mean, Skarner Rumble just permabanned every red side on this patch.
But obviously, steady, reliable, have the luxury.
This time, no Ivern for Elyoya. Carmine Corp just losing to Ivern, and now we're just going to take again for Vladdy the Talia, which he did look good on.
Where you want to go with the rest of your draft. So far, Carmine Corp keeping things relatively safe. I think the beauty of Jinx into Ashe as well is that if the Ashe does happen to be played in AD carry, you have a nice range scaling matchup that you can play in on the bot side of the map. So, and I wonder if Carmine have been taking some lessons from BDS, maybe a few early swaps to get through some potentially rough laning phases. But it's going to be the Rek'Sai once more for closer, confirming that the Talia will be put into the jungle.
Yes, the early game junglers for closer with Rek'Sai, of course. And now Frescovi, gonna take the LeBlanc. Okay, we're gonna ban out the Rakan on the bot side. Varus ban. Ashe is actually tearing up Korean solo queue right now. Highest win rate 80 carry and Diamond Plus in Korea in this patch. Wow, very all-in bot side. Ashe Rel. Gonna try and disengage with the Alistar. Okay. So they take a lot of disengage after seeing Ashe Rel. You have Alistar disengage, Gragas disengage, very good peel for the Jinx. Especially with the zoning that Talia can create as well. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and take the Cassante here. Gotta say, Carmine Corp feels like they have a lot of protection in this composition for the Jinx if Upset can get some work done. And they can counteract any kind of Ashe Arrow or Sejuani engage. The nice thing about Mad Lions is they can go fishing because they have non-committal engage with Sejuani and non-committal engage with Ashe.
Rek'Sai Talia should have some great power because of their setup. We'll see how things play out.
Coordination. Where's their outfit? Where's their stylist? You know, that's what I'm trying to understand. I think that's red, though.
Okay, but blue and red complement each other, right?
Nah, it's a little bit. Well, they're kind of a J, like purple's in the middle.
I don't listen. I was when
A color wheel.
He did. Just handed me a color wheel and said, "Here you go. You can learn."
Again, as you saw on the bottom of your screen, call out for the Twitter, for the tweets. Get at us. Who's better? Super Upset. We've talked about this.
Okay, press the attack onto Ashe. There's a ward right there. Suba and Alvaro are playing aggressively because of weak Alistar level 1. And the zoning opportunities they have from this brush, so they get rid of that ward.
It was a great tweet. We need more like that. But Supa, doing the Ashe thing, stepping in and out of the brush, knowing that Alistar level 1 is kind of useless.
Completely useless.
He's there to body block. But
He's
again,
literally just
blue
body blocking.
pajamas. These are the things we have to keep track of. Alvaro, interrupted. Again, just trading damage back and forth here. Doesn't look like anyone's lost too much XP.
An exchange of aftershocks as junglers start top side path towards bot. Super and Alvaro should be able to get the earlier level 2. We'll see if they can really do much off the back of it, but what's the word?
There's level 2. Now the zoning commences. Checking for jungle pathing. They are going to see that it's 3 camps topside. They get eyes on closer right away.
You can't really do a lot in that 2v2. Ashe basically solo wins lane.
Perhaps he just wants to cover because he recognizes that the bot lane.
Elyoya goes directly to blue. So he can cover bot if he needs to. Vladdy motions bot side.
Information on the river. See if he can spot out Elyoya. If she can get on top of you, can be very, very scary. As we were saying, nice trade there from Frescowi. Gonna force Vladdy back because.
Good night, Lucha Outsider.
Too upset about it.
For now, relatively quiet. Of course, again, you talk about the stakes for both of these organizations.
Hey, it's just in time for the battle of the week.
Comes through
Oh boy.
Specifically the LFL and Superliga. For KC and Mad Lions Koi, not quite as much when we look at their overall head-to-head, when we look at the past. Still some interesting numbers.
Yeah, I've heard this is this really lives up to the bangers only. Isn't a complete raccoon feast or anything like that.
There it is. There it is. 2 wins, 7 losses, 6 wins, 10 losses.
Really selling them there.
Record.
Yeah? You want to explain those numbers to me, Dracos?
Yeah, so it's in spring. They're 2, 7, and 6.
Thank you for the food. No problem. Gotta feed my raccoon horde somehow. There aren't that many raccoons today, guys. This is like the lowest stream numbers I've had in a long time. Manscaped, code LFN? Yes. No. Yes? Hold on. We have 2 codes, I think. One for SI and one for Power Spike for Manscaped. My balls have never been smoother, by the way.
So far, it's a tempered early game. Just a lot of farming back and forth. Kind of what we've been seeing in this meta. I will say...
Is this the meta, or are teams like...
Nah, bro,
obviously, summer's really important.
No, because you got to remember,
You're a little
right?
scared.
Basically, the...
Oh, the code is LFN for both. Pog.
Control ward, going to go in favor of KC. Basically, the old meta was very much about, like, diving.
Balls of steel.
That's why
Yes,
Xbox
smooth
became
steel.
big, because they wanted their bot lanes to stop getting dived. And so you could actually start...
The code is LFN
matchups, and then
for
they made it
Manscaped.
way harder.
Would
Honestly,
recommend.
like that because AP junglers became stronger, that then forced
Nobody
people
shaves
to
their balls,
really
right?
kinda
We
have to
trim.
come from
Look,
supports.
I have the
But this
top
there is
trimmed because I don't want to look like a 12-year-old boy.
carries anyway, and so we're just playing a slower game. There's not really
But,
any lanes
you
for
know,
junglers
the
to
balls being
play
smooth are
around.
fine.
It's mainly about covering for one another. You'd expect, again, the kind of mid-jungles is where you'd expect some sort of early skirmishing. But neither mid laner is kind of eager to move out of their lane. Right now, it's just kind of a constant back and forth push between the two. As junglers
Most LEC watchers probably don't even know that LEC started yet. Yeah, and also, like, Korea hasn't started, LCS hasn't started, so I think people are generally just... And also, LEC has sucked in terms of quality, so I don't think anybody's hyped about this shit.
Very awkward.
I can't stand the itchiness. It doesn't itch, but okay.
I've seen junglers just wander into bot, hang out.
That has not been my experience.
We've spent our time with the kids. Back to your moms for the week, and then just return to farming the chaos. Oh gosh. Ultimately, quiet thus far. 6.5 minutes in, not a lot to report. The air feels tense, but
Does
a lot
it?
of KC fans.
I feel very
A lot
relaxed
of
right now.
MDK fans in the audience.
If I was
It itches if you go completely smooth. No, it doesn't, guys.
drop a ward down here and
Maybe yours do.
If you're upset in this game, you're chilling. You know, you're just like, all right, my job is to farm and not die. And as long as I farm and not die, and
You guys do it however you want.
we probably, you know, are in a pretty good spot. That said, MDK.
So now what you'd expect is Closer goes top, he takes the grubs. That's what I'm looking for. It's just an exchange of objectives.
It will be. We'll do some LPL tomorrow. I want to catch up on the anyone's Legend versus NIP games.
Dragon going down.
And we'll also have some more
First major objective.
Europeans to watch tomorrow.
Targa, only level 4. Super just trying to zone him away from the
I don't think
tower.
they can dive
Good
this.
stun, immediate ignite. He's only level 4. Targa! He got no business being there. Alvaro grabbing the kill. 4.
What's he doing? So he knows they just took Drake and that they could be walking bot side. He takes a bunch of damage from the minions, gets hit by an arrow when he knows Supa is 6 because he saw Supa hit 6 off of the wave right there. Supa just hit 6. Then he gets stun locked under the turret and killed by Ignite. Also could have flashed that. He could have absolutely flashed that arrow. He just thought he wasn't going to die.
First major objective of the game.
Oh, Targa, only level 4. Super just trying to zone him away from the
He also could have flashed that. So he could have flashed... You know, I don't blame him for not flashing the arrow, but he could have flashed that.
good stun, immediate ignite. He's only level 4. Targa! He got no business being
Jesus Christ.
Alvaro grabbing the kill.
I didn't think
He could have flashed the rel stun.
I
He
mean,
did
he was,
not think that either,
he was
clearly.
one tick over level 5. If he'd been able to get it, that would have been enough health to keep him alive. But
How good is Calliste? I don't know. I don't watch lower tier regions, but I've heard very good. Like, not flashing that Rel Q when you know Rel is just standing there is insane to me. And then Alistair flashes after anyway.
Still relatively squishy pre-level 6. Closer to the good news is going to grab the Void Grubs, but it won't mean a whole lot unless you grab the second spawn as well, especially because it's not like they really have a pushing lane to play through with that extra damage to towers.
Yeah, I mean, the ball lane was supposed to just be Farmville.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know if you remember that old Facebook game.
I do. A very mini fond of
But things have gone awry. Small gold lead for MDK. They are hovering around mid right now.
All right.
And they
Targamas finally level 5.
Gentlemen. Seems we have an accord.
Do you not feel the tension? I feel like they're
What
just
tension?
I feel like they're like on the edge of their seats, like afraid to make a mistake. It feels tense to me. Like, did you watch Vitality play earlier? That felt loosey-goosey. You know what I mean? Like, by comparison, this feels very tense. Neither side wants to commit. Not a single spell wasted. It's only the first game or second game of the season for both these lineups. First week. But now Upset and Targamas return to bot side.
I can tell you right now, KC don't want to lose because they don't want to be 10th again. Mad don't want to lose because they don't want to lose to the team that went 10th twice in a row.
I mean, that's big stakes on both sides, really.
I mean, for sure. There's also the element of the Spanish-French rivalry.
I mean, certainly, and, you know, trying to get to third place. Ultimately, if you want to make season finals for KC, they don't have any points, so
Literally
make it on
zero.
placement. Literally 0 points. I have just heard from production that our first tweet is ready. Let's see what the fans have to say about the age-old battle, or the new age battle, I should say, of Supa versus Upset.
I think Super is better than Upset, but I feel that's more of a support diff due to Alvaro being better than
Is Upset still a good ADC? I feel like I've seen him get screwed by his teams for so many years that it's hard to tell. Yeah, it is hard to tell now, actually. Like, you know, it's very hard to be a good ADC on a dysfunctional team because you don't get peeled for. And so you just die at the start of fights. So I have no idea how good Upset is still. I mean, he hasn't been the reason they've been losing. He talks a lot in their comms, at least ones we've heard. I think he's probably fine.
I think that's a real one. It might be real.
That is my favorite meme. They're all like, they all like Sasuke fake tweet.
Is it real?
My other favorite one is when like a really sick play happens and then the chat goes, I wonder where Faker is.
Is he here right now?
No.
Hall of Legends from us? Upset Kasupa is Astro carried by Alvaro.
Alvaro is just everyone singing
Alvaro's getting a lot of hype
praises
today.
I think that's true, though.
A lot of sideways shade being
Alvaro is a lot better than Suba.
It's so funny how
Now it's
everyone, in
Supa.
order to praise Alvaro, they've just got to throw
This is the
shade
rule
on
of
everyone
internet.
else.
It's a zero, praise on the internet is a zero-sum game. In order for someone to be good, someone else has to be trash. Betty, those are the rules.
Those are the rules.
But I prefer an alternative version of the zero-sum game. Are you with me?
Hell yeah.
You know about less passive, more handsome. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're aware of the newest 80 carry metric brought to you by League of Legends Esports, right?
No.
Well, if luck will have it, we now have the tools to dissect and get your expert opinion on.
My expert opinion?
I need your expert opinion, Betty. Very soon, we're going to bring up a chart, and I'm going to need you to break down where Supa and Upset sit on the latest 80 carry metric, advanced analytics coming in from League of Legends Esports, passivity and handsomeness.
Passivity and what? You're telling me that you've made some sort of...
Yes. And now using this, I need to understand who is the most handsome and the least passive. For example, oh, you could just put multiple faces. I didn't know you could do that. I thought it was one face.
Hang on. So you want to tell me who is...
Yes.
Well, let's start off by I think that they're both very handsome individuals.
No, it's one scale.
What
You
do
can
mean
be, it's one scale.
So they're
It's an
either
advanced
passive
metric.
or they're handsome.
Passive
This is
or
very
handsome.
funny.
There's only metric.
They're both down here right
Think about
now.
it. Gumayushi, incredibly handsome, not passive.
Okay. That right now, based on this, actually, no.
Don't you say that.
Hang on.
There's a kill happening top
There's a
lane,
kill-
by
no,
the way.
there's-
Hold that thought.
wait.
Mirwin, pull back. Solo bolo on Kana. Kana taken down by Mirwin. We didn't need any top laners from Korea. We got him right here.
We need to put a photo of Mirwin at the handsome scale right now, because he ain't any passive,
no
Drake.
passive. I thought it was
no
for 80
passive in
carries.
the top lane.
Mirwin's mixing it up. Well, it might not be a
Mirwin
perfect
with
metric.
the okay. He really threw me a curveball with that match.
Remember when Kana, everybody was hyping up Kana as if he was some sort of top lane god when he like was incredibly mediocre last year on Damwon Kia, and then he didn't have a team this year?
Advanced analytics, but we can get back to the normal
I mean, I
play-by-play.
wasn't expecting a solo kill to happen up here. Oh, nice use of
Nice
the ult.
dodge from Mirwin using the ult.
He then tries to create space, but Mirwin playing it perfectly.
Gets him with the Q3.
Drop of damage only to the tower. And just a beautiful solo kill. Mirwin showing EU's got it. Plays into the crowd. And why not? Solo kill onto Kana. Great way to start off the season.
No passivity, all handsomeness, all the time. Mirwin.
He's coming in with a fresh cut this split as well.
True. Brolo Jojo, which is surprisingly similar to Mojo Jojo. Casey Koopa. We might know where his alliance leads. Unsurprisingly, Upset doesn't even know who Supa is. That's a bit of a problem.
Classic.
Supa just arrowed and killed his support, so I hope that he's learning fast. That said, Upset got this game.
I mean, it's a tad ironic that some of the KC fanbase blasting casters for singling out players and sending hatred their way. Why? Crepo, it's not like Carmine Corp, their fans send hate everybody's way, given how they're treating Linkus. Oh yeah, because Linkus betrayed them. He is the betrayer.
They're working with his team to help control. Well, I thought they had control within that brush. I stand corrected.
Grouping, determined. Gonna grab the red buff here for Upset. Of course, he's kind of the big damage threat. We'll have Kana and Vladdy do a lot of magic damage, disrupt, make it really hard for Supa, especially, to play these fights out on an immobile champion like the Ashe. And of course, Jinx, you know, what do you say? She's the same champion she's been for so long, kind of this ticking time bomb. Not gonna see a weird lane swap here.
How has Linkus looked? I haven't watched any of the Vitality games yet.
I can't tell. I'm assuming the
How's he
X is
been?
because they're matched. The name is Hasi.
Hasi.
3.
Hasi, even. Upset is on top, so he doesn't have enough experience
Mid.
to prove himself.
No, he's jungle. Crepo, he's
I
jungle.
mean, he did.
They're 1-1. So, we could say this is the decider. This is like the world finals
I mean,
of regular season KC versus Mad Lions boys.
I mean, to be fair, now I ain't trying to throw any shade. I'm just stating facts.
Better than Dogglass.
Finals in his first season.
Ah, yes.
Upset
He was
has
bad.
played 3 times in a row. I'm just stating facts. Those are only. That's all I've done.
Okay. Facts hurt.
They do. Now, of course, facts don't represent a player. You know, Upset still.
I'm sorry, do you want to say that again?
Yeah, facts don't entirely represent a play. You know, circumstances, there's a lot of variables that come into. You know, it's a team game, not an individual's game. You know what I mean?
It is a team game. As we learned with Mirwin on the top side. I do think that Casey, as we get later, though, their life just gets easier. Alistar's one of those champions where the further you go in the game, the more powerful he's going to feel. Targamas, that was a big... I can't... You know, that was bad earlier on. Probably shouldn't have died there. But it hasn't cost too much. And overall, minor gold deficit. I think you're right, though. You can see the setup here. Drake, minute 45 seconds away.
Oh, hang on.
Getting a fight. We're getting a fight. Good. Initial engage is solid on Alvaro. Alvaro just going to get interrupted and pop. Supa already missed the arrow, and Upset's taking it personal.
It's an easy pickup for KC. Punishes Alvaro. Finally find themselves on the board.
Supa already missed deficit. I think you're right, though. You can see the setup here. Drake, minute.
So they know that he's in this brush, and they know that they're clearing vision, and he still just walks up, allows himself to be Alistar comboed and just one shot. All right.
Hang on.
And we waste TP.
It's an easy pickup for KC. Punishes Alvaro. Finally find themselves on the board. Dragon's still a minute and a half away, though, so just a single pick.
There's actually no point in taking control over the river right there either. Like, what is the play that they're trying to make here? There's no objective. They're literally just actually losing vision control wars and then dying.
It's an easy pickup for KC. Punishes Alvaro. Finally find themselves on the board. Dragon's still a minute and a half away, though, so just a single pick. Cowie has his eyes on Upset.
Upset, getting chased down. Frescowi made it hit the chains, and Upset's dead. Super has to flash for his life. Can the mid laner get redemption for his AD carry? Frescowi not going to be in trouble as well. Elyoya with a clean disengage. Excellent.
Well, they did actually make a play off of that, which was good.
Upset taken out.
They get something off of the TP.
As he finds a nice pick, set up by Super, applying the slow onto Upset. Doesn't use the cleanse, does commit the flash. And he ends up losing. Very scary coming into this objective.
I mean, certainly does, right? You've also got Elyoya opting for some more aggressive early itemization, delaying Warmogs, which is so often the first item rush that we see. In favor of the Zeeks, but setup on the objective is going to be big. For now, MDK, decent vision control. Scuttlecrab going to guarantee at least a couple seconds of vision. Bonk, who are doing this.
To get involved in the fight. New and though with a full level advantage, Elyoya maybe split from his team here.
Elyoya, still doing okay for now. Hunted back, not ideal. Mounts.
Wow, that was hilarious.
New and though with a full level advantage, Elyoya maybe split from his team here.
Elyoya, still doing okay.
What a play, actually, by Elyoya. To use this timing when he's under enemy turret to remount into the Herald and get the fuck out. It's actually really good.
Look at him go! Oh, play the music! Oh my gosh. Cast him in the next one. Fast 15. Elyoya will not be caught.
That's funny.
Targamas thought he was going to knock him into the wall, but that was a thing of beauty right there.
So Targamas knocked him over the wall. As you rightly said, I don't think he was expecting to knock him over. And then Elyoya used that space to get into the Herald to run away to safety. Now the downside is this dragon being started off by KC. But KC's positioning very awkward here.
Targamas immediately going to try to, Kana getting shunked out, dashing backwards. Super desperate now to finish the kill. Flash forward, Elyoya and Super getting the kill together. MDK really starting to take over across the map. Vladdy trying to get a tower back, will be able to do so. But meanwhile on the tops of the map, Mirwin is getting something. But a Drake picked up by KC. They'll at least be able to stall the Drake stacking on the side of MDK, but they're only getting further and further ahead.
I mean, MDK just splitting the map right now. They're willing to concede the third dragon in exchange for a kill. The mid tower, the top tower, Mirwin also gaining huge advantages. He's nearly going to be 2 levels up on Kana.
The Herald ride timed out there. It does time out. It does time out.
And what has been a largely passive game, it is MDK who have been able to find these picks, find these punishes. And Super, look at that, a 1.8k gold lead over his AD carry counterpart.
And that feels damn good. Of course, coming up next, we've got Juon versus Ultra Instinct Razork. So we'll see how that one goes as well.
That caught me off guard. That was
a lot of Spain battles today. Spanish jungler, Giant X-Core, Spanish organization.
Taking over the LEC slowly but surely.
I mean, it's looking good so far. The battle of KC versus MDK.
Yeah, Bo is chilling, and he's just chilling on his contract, I guess.
Here. Yes, Jinx will be powerful in the fights, but the coordination hasn't really been there for KC either thus far this game.
Support still strong. KC.
I'm wondering if we should cast the game or if we should cast the people in the audience. KC fans clapping, spreading their hands. Clapping and stomping on the side of MDK fans. Slapping on the railing. Passion regardless. You like to see it.
I think Bo is down in the West. Nah, I think he's definitely still a good player.
Damage to really take this objective. Don't really have the best team to take a Baron. And KC going to be pretty comfortable.
Somebody will want to eventually.
Time to just sit back, scale up in this game. We'd really love to get upset to 3 items. Even 2 would be a decent start. Of course, no crit chance for the Jinx quite yet. Super already a bit ahead of the curve with the PD as well as the extra cloak.
Upset very close to it, but still at that kind of deficit. A ways away from that. I will say Drake. Oh, you have a question?
Yeah. I trust you because you're a smarter guy than me. But
The thing is isn't he still banned in China? So he can't go back to China. So I don't think he's done in the West.
In what is a very complicated metric, because obviously passivity and handsomeness very comparable. So when you put them on a scale, at first it might seem complicated, but really you've got to think about.
No, they are opposite traits though. Passivity and handsomeness are opposite traits. I agree.
Really, really complicated.
I didn't make this scale, Draco. I didn't make it. Okay, you threw me in here, and I'm trying to save you, but I don't know what was the plan, huh?
look, man, sometimes you just need to figure out new ways to talk about AD carries who are both
This is our
incredible
new ways.
and have historically been incredibly confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And are both incredibly handsome. Like, look, let's not beat around the bush. Good looking dudes.
Good night, Ice Shadow. Thank you.
Said, right now in this game, Supa, more aggressive, getting the farm.
Could he go to LLA or CB LOL? I mean, I'm sure he could, but NA or E would pay him better.
A lot stronger in the earlier
Oh, I
stages
get
of the
it's a
game.
double entendre. Looking damn good.
I don't know what Bo's contract or buyout would look like either. Because the thing is, he can just chill. Because he signed a German contract, he can just chill until the end of his contract. And if nobody else wants to buy out his contract, or if it's a big contract that nobody wants to pay,
Explain the rap beefs to me. I cannot keep up. They are too convoluted. Why did Drake do Hey There Delilah? It doesn't make any sense.
It's one of those things where some of the, I've seen some comedians like go very deep, many layers.
Historically, he did not like this.
this has been such a boring game. 5 kills in 23 minutes. Splitting Drakes. At least Carby Corp has a bunch of void grubs.
Yeah, which will be the next big arena. Of course, we're really excited for KC versus MDK, but the game has not been that explosive quite yet.
Even remotely explosive, we're at 5 kills.
Because I'm going to be honest, when we walked into the room to talk about how we wanted to talk about this game on Wednesday, when we did our story meet, it was a lot of...
How many games do you reckon they had in scrims with 1-4 23 minutes? 0.
Blood on the
Rivalry.
rift. Yeah.
So far, it's been chilling with the boys.
Yes, chilling with the void. Yep, it's been a vibe. Here we are, the Dragon's out. Baron alive too. Neo in top. Carnivore.
Careful.
Look at this
Target
flank from
miss.
Frescowi.
Frescowi off to the side. Supa just starting to rain auto attacks onto Targamas. Frescowi's already out there, and in the meantime, Mirwan is already splitting. Good route coming through. Frescowi. Wall built up. Will allow him to just walk away, and Mirwan just continues to hit the towers. The Team Osai and the cheers of the Mad Lions Koi fans letting you know that he's sealed the deal. Another 650 gold for him, as the gold lead only continues to grow for Mad Lions Koi.
That's going to be a Baron start for MDK. I'm not sure how this one's going to pan out for them, but let's find out.
Frescowi jumps up. Vladdy loses half his health. It seems like it's panning pretty good.
It's panning out.
It's panning.
Panning back to the Baron. Mirwan trying to pull back onto Targamas, grouping into the choke that they sell.
Wait. Why does Targamas not have ult?
Frescowi off to
Yep, it's been a vibe.
What happened here? Why does he not have ult?
Here we are, the Dragon's out. Baron alive too. Neo in top.
He's recalling in that brush,
Carnivore.
careful.
Look at this
Target
flank
miss.
from Frescowi.
Frescowi
so
off to
he
the
gets
side.
stunned and has to pop ult.
Frescowi's already out
He's
there.
recalling alone in that brush, as obviously MDK is going to be coming in to get vision, and so he has no ult. Okay? So now he doesn't have an ult. Why doesn't he have an ult? Because he did that.
It's going to be a Baron start.
Seems like it's panning out. Dash in. Good.
So then, because he has no ult,
Panning back to the Baron.
remember, he is level fucking 9. This guy is 7 levels up. 7 levels up.
Mirwan trying to pull back
He then
onto
gets
Targamas.
Q3'd in, hit by a Sejuani ult. Here's some Jinx traps from Upset to cover his exit. Right?
Into the choke that they have to be careful.
Chain CC'd, and then what?
Dash in, coming in from Mirwan. Mirwan now
Wait.
isolated off to the side, looking for the 1v1.
He's 1 HP and he punts Cassante next to Jinx?
Grouping into the choke that they have to be careful now. Dash in, coming in from Mirwan. Mirwan now isolated off to the side, looking for the 1v1. Upset
So he just gets a free
Mirwan, reaching out.
he gets a free engage onto Jinx, and he has Ghost, and Jinx flashes, and then he just kills the entire backline. Are you kidding me?
MDK taking the reaching out. Trying to pull back onto Frescowi, jumps up. Vladdy
Well,
loses half his
I think we know what this
Seems like
means.
it's panning pretty good. It's panning out. Panning back to the Baron. Mirwan trying to pull back onto Targamas.
That you only meant well, well, cause you did what you say. That it's all for the best, because it is what you say. That it's just what we need. You decided this, what you say. What did she say?
Oh my god. What a time to be alive, guys.
Where he wants to go, MDK taking the fight, can turn back to the Baron, can take their sweet time. Saddam
Mirwin just decimating the back line of KC, giving them no room to breathe. Of course, Targamas had already committed the ultimate earlier, so even though he wanted to act as a front line, it was
That was the hotel room scene. That's right, Crepo. He knows. He knows the jokes.
But then look at Mirwin, unstoppable, finds his target, gets knocked over the wall by Targa. As Targa tries to escape, he ends up delivering Mirwin to his
Dear Lord.
And on the bottom side, you've got the two members for Scowie also cleaning up.
What was even the show that SNL was making fun of with the song, The OC?
For KC, of course, again, putting things in perspective, fans still here, fans still amped, ready to support this team, despite the struggles, despite the difficulties, as MDK continues aggressive look.
I just like how he managed to waste his ult on the play prior to that by recalling stupidly, and then you get the hilarious play after that.
Nice play from Frescawi to avoid that initiation. MDK not slowing down now that they have the Baron. They secure the mid inhibitor. They don't really have a wave on top to play around. Frescawi's going to go catch bot wave. I think overstacking on bot to try and push this. I don't know. I mean, that tower is pretty low, so they should be able to secure this objective, but very likely that they'll try and unlock this tower and then make their way towards the dragon. But MDK, a very one-sided game overall. Only a single kill for KC. 27 minutes in. They're just letting the Baron do the work for them. For Scowie, though.
Good interrupt, knock back to the wall, the Ignite marking the real target, a quick shutdown.
27 minutes in. They're just letting the Baron.
So I like how Frescawi somehow gets hit here.
But MDK, a very one-sided game overall. Only a single kill for KC.
So
27 minutes
he clears out this ward, then he dashes forward,
They're just letting the
but instead of dashing back, just gets hit by a Gragas,
Good interrupt, knock back to the wall, the Ignite marking the real target.
and then just gets killed. He has no flash.
Slowing down the initial
What the
push.
fuck was that?
In the mid lane, but little glimmer of
Is
hope.
Vladdy good?
Nice to have the
I mean, that was mostly Kana. Why did he dash?
play that. Oh,
What?
hang on, they- 27 minutes in. They're just letting
He's like trying to get some poke damage out of the Kana or some shit? Like, what the fuck, man? What was the point of that?
marking the real target, a quick shutdown.
Both of these teams are shit.
Slowing down the initial push. Mirwin, of course, already in the mid lane, but little glimmer of hope for the side of KC. Nice to have the additional income.
I mean, bit of a misplay there. Oh, hang on. They keep the tower alive for now. But Frescawi really shouldn't have just been pushing that alone. It's quite easy for KC to initiate with the composition that they have. I think MDK should have just regrouped instead of kind of holding off, looking for a potential collapse. They will convert it into a dragon. Still in commanding position.
I mean, sole point. You got upset about to hit over to 3 items. You have a
Monty, when are you going back to Korea for the cooking streams? I'm back in Korea. I had to move apartments. I may do one later this week if I can get my setup done. It takes me a while to set it all up, though.
Matt has just been better outside of that single instance in the bottom lane.
I'm going to attempt to do one later this week.
Blast plants on their side of the rift. KC looks to get what farm they can. Upset working tirelessly to secure what looks to be the LDR.
This man is full-time job. You talked about it earlier, Farm Bill. He's getting the upgrades, he's getting the tool. Stardew Valley, man.
Super is paying off on those early investments. Who'd have thought getting kills helps later?
How's my Korean? Passable?
It's like Bitcoin, of course.
Should have known.
Should have known.
It's getting better because I'm living in Incheon, and it's very English unfriendly, and I'm also going to a Korean Muay Thai gym, so I'm being forced to
It's
speak
only
it
one
more.
kill, to be fair, and 300 CS. But the 4 additional assists certainly help, as well as a lot of the global gold that has gone.
Do people just hire moving companies in Korea? Yeah, and you know what? In Korea, they also box up all your shit for you. So what they do is they send like 4 people, and they actually put all of your stuff into boxes for you, and then they move it and unpack it all for you too. Obviously, you have to do some of it. I had to, my real problem was setting my office back up again and setting up all my computer shit. That took a while.
Too, right? Remember, Alistair Jinx is not a lane.
It is a team fighting duo, though. And I feel like
For sure.
we haven't gotten to see that yet.
No, we haven't.
Mirwin? Casante's still Casante's. More changes, good knockup, bit of poke, bit of damage. Again, Lord Dominix
is he
is
taking
there.
damage?
Well, it's hard to say. but with my glasses on, I can say yes. The
Oh, look,
problem is
red
with
buff
red
kicked
buff.
in.
Is it costly? I didn't move very far. I just moved from one building in the apartment complex to a different building in the same apartment complex.
So good is this. Who does enough damage?
It's like a $1,000 or $2,000. Depends on how much shit you have. I don't have a lot of shit though, because we're not here for, you know, we're kind of just living here temporarily.
Someone was like, guys, tanks are now really good. And Cassante was reading that going, yes, they are.
Yes, they are. What if there was a tank that also did damage? Target, Hex Flash, Engage. It's Yo-Yo.
Well, they brought an item in for that, didn't they? I forget its name, but it's one of the new ones. Converts your bonus HD into AD now and stuff.
Oh, the blood mail.
Yeah, the blood man.
Overseer's blood mail, I think it's called.
Make any tank into budget Cassante. Cassante builds defense, and defense gives him offense. It's like how Pike converts HP into AD, except you get both things instead of losing one of them.
No, yeah, no, I get it. And
It's like if Yasuo was a tank.
I do feel bad for Banstein because, like, you know, they hadn't seen Cassandra.
I haven't seen you for a couple months, Monty. How jacked am I now? Getting more jacked all the time, baby.
So bad, so we'll buff him a teeny tiny bit, just so that solo queue players can still enjoy Cassandra. And pros are just like, that was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that.
You see him doing
You could have kept him nerfed and we were going to play him anyway.
Yeah. And Mirwan's clearly feeling comfortable. Like, look, yesterday the TF game was rough. He was just a TF with a gold card against a super fed Camille. He
That
couldn't
he
do a lot.
was.
Now he's a Cassante who could probably 1v5 tank the entire team for 20 seconds.
Probably. He is almost full build.
The globe is real.
He is Chovying on Cassante.
That feels pretty good. Is it flaming? Are we still doing Flame Horizon, or has Chovy eclipsed all other farmers?
Yeah, but Chovying is when you have, like, you're keeping, like, he's got 335 CS at 31 minutes.
Flame only gets credit when you're 100 ahead.
Yeah, it's only 100 ahead.
Of course, the true Flame Horizon.
Is Alvaro cooking here? I think they're cooking.
Looking for the angle. Mirwan coming through. Alvaro already finding one, but the immediate follow-up isn't quite there. Vladdy trying to make his way out to safety, but again, Zuba already into the back line. That's another one taken down. Mirwan on a rampage. He's just not going to get stopped. He's ghosting. He's going as fast as he can. Connor ready to disengage for upset. But
Alright, he ulted.
The damage closers ulti already down. MDK barreling down the top side of the map, and well, Targamas is being herded. Sent out to pasture. The chain's now on. Yeah. Back to the farm he goes.
I mean, MDK.
Oh, the inhib respawned. Oops.
They'll take the fight. They'll sweep KC once more.
It might have actually been possible for MDK to win right here if that inhib didn't respawn.
To stop MDK from sieging. If he can buy another 20 seconds, there's a chance, but Mirwan is on the hunt.
Mirwan not going to let it happen. Oyoyo with the slow as well. They don't quite sync up well enough, but Frescawi coming in just means there's no way he can approach. There's just not enough handsomeness in the world to solve this problem. AC, do stop the push, though. MDK don't want to overcommit. Connor doing a good job of clearing the way of upset as well. Obviously can just shred through it if he's given a couple chances to auto.
Damage has been done. 2 inhibitors. One of the Nexus towers gone. They can just reset for either the Soul or the Baron. But yeah, this is kind of the meta that we live in, Drakos. A little bit slower. And KC, unfortunately, haven't been able to show us anything in this game, really. 2 kills. Early grubs show up, but those were mainly cross maps in exchange for the Dragons.
And I think it's tough, right? When you've already had such a difficult year, you're kind of resetting most of the roster, hoping for this big honeymoon phase where you're going to hit the ground running. And you just have to hope for the team, for the organization, for the staff behind the scenes that you can hold on to that strong mental, that you can push forward and just let this be a couple of losses and not an indicator of what's to come in the split. For MDK, yesterday obviously had some good moments against G2, weren't able to really turn those into greater advantages, but today they have not struggled against KC. Now setting their sights on the second Baron of the game. It's a 4-item Ash. Supa looking unkillable. No real backline threat into any of these fights as MDK have almost always been. They have not an indicator of what's to come and hit the ground.
Wait,
You
what?
just have to hope for the team, for the organization, for the staff behind the scenes that you can hold on to that strong mental, that you can, you're kind of resetting most of the roster, hoping for this big honeymoon phase where you're going to hit the ground running. And you just have to hope for MDK. Yesterday obviously had some good moments against G2, weren't able to really turn those into greater advantages, but today they have not struggled against KC. Now setting their sights on the Baron of the game. It's a 4-item
MDK didn't play G2 yesterday.
against G2, weren't able to really turn those into greater advantages, but today they have not struggled against.
They played
Now
Fnatic.
setting their sights on the second Baron of the game. It's a 4-item Ash. Supa looking unkillable. No real backline threat into any of these fights as MDK have almost always been the ones initiating the exchange. Jinx Rocket dangerously close, but MDK gonna grab the objective.
Now with the Baron, MDK.
KC played Fnatic. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Objective in
I
mind.
just did that game. Lol.
The enemy's Nexus, 34 minutes in. They're looking to try and round things out. KC. They're going to need a miracle fight to
That game was weird though, because the MDK G2 game
the gold gap that currently exists. Super.
favorite Mighty Boosh episode that isn't old Greg, Mod Wolves.
Now completed for Mirwin as well. It is a tanky topside on the side of MDK. And I don't know if KC have the damage to get through it.
I mean, it's really tough, right? Lord Dominic's obviously would feel so much better if you had the IE, but really want the additional attack speed here. Upset doing what he can again to clear the way of Celestial opposition. Procced onto Targamas. He's a little bit squishier, but of course still has his ultimate there. MDK want to keep sieging. Super doesn't have a lot of range here to approach, so Elyoya finds a decent angle onto Vladdy. Good interrupt from Targa to stop the follow-up. Now getting caught in the midst of the fight. Alvaro looks like he's about to shred. That's the reset now coming in for Upset. One more rocket going to come out, but MDK already gotten one kill back. Upset locked up. Turning back on the Brascowie. Excellent engage. KC coming alive in the base. Mirwin pushed back, but again, they're so damn tanky. Already gotten one kill back. To approach, so Elyoya finds a decent angle onto Vladdy. Good interrupt from Targa to stop the follow-up.
Vladdy's hitting a lot of the Talia W's.
Want to keep sieging. Super doesn't have a lot of range here to approach, so Elyoya finds a decent angle onto Vladdy. Good interrupt from Targa to stop the follow-up. Now getting caught in the midst of the fight. Alvaro looks like he's about to shred. That's the reset now coming in for Upset. One more rocket going to come out, but MDK already gotten one kill back. Upset locked up. Shred, that's the reset. Dude,
Kana catching this LeBlanc out is actually keeping them in the game right now. That's a huge body slam flash ult. Kana's actually finding the angles to win this game.
Damn tanky. Good damn back up approach. So Elyoya finds a decent angle onto Vladdy. Good interrupt from Targa to stop the follow-up. Now getting caught in the midst of the fight. Alvaro looks like he's about to shred. That's the reset now coming in for Upset. One more rocket going to come out, but MDK already gotten one kill back. Upset locked hold from the side of KC.
Good punish there from KC. Secure that Infinity Edge, but the tankiness issue is not going to go away as the soul is going to be secured for MDK. We look back at the play. I mean, the initiation doesn't really result in anything. Targamas is tanking up a lot, and then Alvaro is stuck underneath the tower to allow Upset to just free hit. And then at this point, he's able to get a good cleanse off, then a really nice barrel from Kana. Knocks Frascawi underneath the tower.
Kana played that really well.
Keeping this tower alive did a lot for KC. And it gives slow death is that at a certain point, goal difference doesn't matter anymore.
True.
Because you keep gaining gold, but
Super
you can't spend
buy
it on
any more
anything.
items. Actually, he can.
You
He
can
can
buy
upgrade his
Zephyr.
boots. Yes.
Yes.
Which is very good on Ashe. I mean, generally pretty good as Targa. Good flick on
Another pick,
Alvaro.
maybe?
Now, the Zephyr being in the game now is interesting.
Look at how tanky they are, though.
I mean, Chemtech.
It's incredibly expensive. It's like 2,000 gold straight up after your Berserker's Greave, so you're not going to buy it probably until you actually max out 6 items.
He's doing it all this game.
So doing what he can to thin out the waves, keeping Kana in the mid lane, knowing that with the tower there it's a little bit easier. KC
Do I have an opinion on LS casts? Back in the day, not really.
It's a long time until anyone
The ginger guy who was casting with me, that'd be Doa. He's blonde, not ginger, but
Be careful, you're likely to have to get
you can watch our show, Nerd Legion, on Last Nation Culture on YouTube. We still do stuff together.
Good flick back on Elyoya. Decent damage. Jinx starting to hurt. Elyoya getting lower and lower. Rocket goes in. Doesn't quite finish. Redemption to heal. Get the reset. Closer in the backline, of course, ulting in to try to finish the kill. Good flick back on Elyoya. Decent damage. Jinx starting to hurt. Elyoya getting lower and lower.
Now, they do get a nice stun lock onto Elyoya, bringing him pretty low there. Closer actually ults in, but doesn't have the execute damage, has to E out.
Try to finish the kill, but does not get it. Alvaro goes to the re-engage, and he's going to get picked off. Jinx now getting the resets. Mirwin, how tanky are you? Not tanky enough.
They just can't get through the front line.
Clean flashback on the Pathmaker. Now Mirwin trying to make the escape. Alvaro goes to decent damage.
I mean, it's very hard for them to finish this game because they have decent wave clear with the Talia and the Jinx. It's another nice W.
Decent damage. Jinx starting to hurt. Elyoya get
Kana and Upset together.
good flick back on Elyoya.
They also isolate the target very nicely with the CC and then the Gragas cask.
Get the reset. Closer in the backline, of course, ulting in to try to finish the kill, but does not get it. Alvaro goes to the re-engage, and he's going to get picked off. Jinx now
Vladdy's Talia is looking pretty good, at least in terms of these team fights.
Upset finally online, but he might be able to turn it back. Clean flashback on the Pathmaker. Now Mirwin trying to make the escape, but the flick back is there. A shutdown for Upset, and KC continue to hold the line.
That's the second fight they've now won in their base.
The new 1984 review is great, to be honest. I know, I thought that one was particularly funny.
As the game continues, the gold is being generated. This Jinx is
We have our Furiosa conversation, our Furiosa review coming out this week.
and look,
Doe and I fight a lot.
slowly starting to mean less and
let's just say Dylan liked it a lot more than I did.
He's up here right now, Dracos. There he is.
He's just so damn
So damn handsome.
He's so damn handsome.
Hope everyone's well. Family first year amazing team. Thank you. We're all good.
Online. MDK continuing the push
You didn't like it?
forward.
I thought it was mediocre.
Gonna hold the line here. Super, of course, full
The
build.
thing is that Fury Road is one of my favorite movies ever.
In these fights, and
And it's just nowhere near as good as Fury Road.
There's a couple things. You got to remember that fighting in your base is very different to fighting around an objective, because up until this point, it's kind of been MDK trying to force the fights in the base, and Casey have a lot of.
I just don't understand who wanted that movie. You know what I mean? Like, who was like, yeah, I want a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. Who the fuck wanted that? Nobody. It's a movie for nobody. And I'm the target audience, one of the people who Fury Road is one of their favorite movies of all time.
certainly aren't, because remember, Upset did burn Flash in the previous exchange. The cleanse is up and available, but again, if someone's already on top of you, the cleanse, without the support of the rest of the team, not going to save the day. So many supportive items to keep Supa and the rest of the team alive. Again, double locket, you've got a Knight's Vow. So many good tools on the side of MDK, luxury items that they've been able to purchase with their gold lead. Not really any defensive items for Upset coming through. That said, he's full build.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though. If you want George Miller, 3,000 Years of Longing is an absolute banger movie, and nobody's even seen it, so. I love George Miller. I just thought Furiosa was thoroughly mid. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's, like, not great.
So they can turtle, they can stall even more. Rek'Sai going to be a great tool for being able to pick out the opposition and sitting in the fog of war. The Baron is now alive.
George Miller, 4-play win.
So they feel like they have to.
Do you know that Thorin hates Fury Road?
They still have that Nexus Tower alive.
I don't understand how that's possible. I'm such a fucking Fury Road stan.
On the mid lane, Mirwin looking for the flank angle. Again, it's just about Upset. They take Upset out of the equation. It gets so hard. Good flick back to keep things off from Vladdy. Elio, you might just get taken out before the fight even really starts. Mirwin off to the
Are you going to talk about the boys when it comes up? Yes. This month, we're talking about The Acolyte, The Boys, and House of the Dragon, because they're all releasing this month.
Pushing up, Supa desperately wants to finish it. The flash forward, Carmine, Core fans coming alive. The shot down there.
All right, what the fuck is going on in this game? They get their inhibs back.
Like they have to. There's always the risk of, I say a back door. They still have that Nexus Tower alive.
You know, outside of that one egregious play by Targamas, he actually has been making some decent Alistair plays beyond that point. Basically, his synergy with Vladdy's been pretty good, because anytime he gets his WQ off, Vladdy is hitting the WE on Talia with it. It's been very consistent. Frescovi has done nothing this game besides get picked off and be useless. Did I watch The Expanse? Yes, I fucking love The Expanse. The Expanse is one of my favorite TV shows ever. It's so hard to watch The Acolyte. Yeah, but I'll just make fun of it. So don't watch The Acolyte. Just watch my show where I make fun of The Acolyte. The Boys is approaching chore to watch levels. The end of the last season of The Boys was pretty bad, but I liked The Boys in the first 2 seasons. I only ever watched the first season of The Expanse. The first season is nothing like the rest of the show, by the way. Like, the first season is like a space film noir, and then it just turns into a crazy space opera. Like, it turns from a film noir into like a, you know, solar system-wide political thriller. It is crazy. Like, a lot of people don't even like the first season. I like the first season, but many people think the first season sucks. It's actually quite a good team fight from KC. Shout out to Kana, though. Kana actually brought them back into this game with a couple really good picks. His team fighting on this Gragas has been very good. He actually zones out right there, too, by using the Zonias, and he prevents Supa from really doing anything.
AC grouped 4-5 now in the mid lane. Mirwin looking for the flank angle. Again, it's just about Upset. They take Upset upset out of the equation. It gets so hard. Good flick back to keep things off from Vladdy. Elio, you might
So again, I mean, his cask is just isolating targets to create picks. I mean, prevents Supa from doing anything in this fight. Wait a second, did... What happened to that arrow? Oh, it actually hits him, but he was just in the middle of his barrel roll animation, so... And it hits him from point blank, so it doesn't stun him for very long. What? Can someone tell me how bad the Acolyte is? I mean, I just hear it's bad Star Wars. I'll tell you. I'm going to film it, like, in a couple days, basically. Suba was zoned out that whole fight. Brescovi did nothing all game.
A game that felt impossible to win has turned into a miracle play from upset. KC have their eyes set on the Nexus, and they're looking to end the game right here.
I can't believe they win this game. Well, you know what? Maybe Kana was the thing they needed. I don't think Kana's great by any means, but he certainly looks really good in that game. All right, guys. It's been pretty low-key today, but it's been fun. It's been fun. We're back for bangers only for summer, so I'll be here a lot. Don't you worry. Hopefully we'll get a cooking stream done later this week. Tomorrow, I want to watch Anyone's Legend versus NIP, and then we'll probably do some more LEC. Summoning Insight is back tomorrow. No. Power Spike is back tomorrow. Summoning Insight on Wednesday. So we got a lot of content coming out this week. And then we've got LCK starting on Wednesday, so we'll have more VOD reviews from LCK later this week. It's going to be a good time. Slow first day in terms of viewership, but I guess that's to be expected. Let's see what we got in LCK this week. Of course, they're giving us T1 versus Genji immediately. Of course, they're doing that on Sunday. HLE versus D+, that might be okay. Guangdong versus KT might be okay. KT versus D+. It's not some bad. There's some pretty decent matchups this week, guys. Just give me my Darth Revan movie/TV series from the Old Republic area. Well, let me tell you, buddy, they're actually going to do a Knights of the Old Republic TV series, so you're getting your wish. You probably won't wish that because they will butcher it. Why do they always do T1 Genji so early? Yes, because they want good viewership. When's the second iteration of the T1 versus Genji meetup? I hope it's not week 9. Okay, it's not. Where is it? It's week 7. So we have to wait until August 3rd to see the next iteration. All right, guys. It's been fun. I will see you more tomorrow for the League of Legends.